at the big board.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, 2 o'clock, ugly day for the market overall. What a reversal we had right out of the gate. First thing this morning, if you remember, we did gap up right across the board. It was looking pretty good, but not for very long. Yeah, pretty red board to show you here. 1.27 right now for the S&P, 1.2 basically for the Dow. 1.5. We're back to 1.5 for the NASDAQ there. TSX here in Toronto, 1.6% downside. Look at crude oil, 5% right now. That is actually off the lows ever so slightly. It was more than 6% at one point. 2.4 for Bitcoin, 3.6 for Ethereum. The rout continues. We paused for a day, but back to the downside we go. There's the energy group glowing red right now, front and center. All of the oil producers here to the downside in a big way. Apache, Halliburton, SLB, MRO, Oxy, XOM, they're all here under significant pressure. Brad talking about LVS there just before they wrapped up, 4%. All of the travel names, however, to the downside in a big way, including Wynn, Caesars, MGM, RCL, NCLH. Remember we were talking about some of the cruise lines being very strong out of the gate. We had an initial push to the upside this morning, and then that got faded in an awful hurry. TPR, VFC positive, consumer durables. There's Best Buy still positive as well coming off that earnings report. You can see the rest of the retailers here under significant pressure. DLTR positive on the day as well. Over here in the industrials group, MAS 1.5%. Everything else, though, downside in a big way. STX, WDC, and the hardware group downside in a big way as well. 4%, 3% for both. GLW 1% higher. CTX 1% higher. But wow, everything else getting crushed here this afternoon. Healthcare stocks, banking stocks have gone red as well. Real estate, utilities, communications goes red on. Throughout the board. Anywho, we will jump into a little bit of a review of what was available for you as far as opportunities go this morning. If you joined us in the pre-market, make sure you're here every single day. If you're not, I don't know where you are. We come on at 8:30, guys, and take you right through to 9:30. Get you set for the open. Great guests in the pre-market. Tons of content as far as what to expect when we got the market open today. I think it kind of surprised everyone what happened, though. What a reversal. We were so positive initially and then just straight downside. Even with that consumer confidence number that was way higher than expected, if you remember that. Let's get going. Sean's here. He's set. We're going to jump into a review to kick things off.
Hey guys, it's your Trader of the Day brought to you by Day Trade the World. Scan that QR code and start your journey today with Day Trade the World. Okay, pretty simple here today. We're going to use Tesla as our trade of the day. I mean, it's a one-in, it's a killer trade, and it really made a decent move back here for Tesla. Tesla coming out today, a couple more news about the lawsuit with Elon. He's lawyering up right now. So again, I don't know, I don't really know Twitter, Tesla, why they really are moving back and forth. We know that if he has to go ahead, and we're talking about Elon Musk, has to go ahead and buy some Twitter, he's probably going to have to sell some Tesla, but I thought he did that already. So we're going to wait to see what happens here with Tesla. The key thing about this is it's now pre-split. So don't forget that just a couple days ago, we went 3 for 1 on this. And what can happen and what has been happening is you get a ramp up into the split, splits, and then generally starts to go down. We've seen that happen with Amazon and Google lately. Still to come, Salesforce and a few different names. Shopify's another good example. So let's take a look here at the charts and what we're looking at. So I think it's pretty simple. Let's first go by yesterday. Yesterday's chart down here. This is a 20-minute chart. All this action yesterday, all this action today. So yesterday, that line of 280, we were staring at that, waiting for it to break, never broke. So okay, today we come in, it's up near 290. But guess what? The NASDAQ, and I don't have that up right here, it started the day up 1%. That's why we were up here. Now we're down 1.5%. So a complete reversal, not a rug pull, but just a reversal on what's been happening today. And you can see it's just been some downside pressure. Now here's a chart right here. This is all split adjusted, but you can see sort of the run up here that Tesla had. Tesla had great earnings. This is when it was 750 or so, the range for Tesla. Earnings come out, busted to the upside. Then heading into the split, we get some nice topside moves. But I've identified right here, and it's going to be hard to see this, but this line right there is 280. So we started bouncing off of 280 even when you go back to pre-split levels. So we were staring that right in the face, right? What happens here is pretty simple. This is the largest, I mean, look, you're going to get some large candles in the open, but all of a sudden nothing happening. You get a big, huge sell candle here. And look, there's the trade right there. Breaks down through 280. We actually get 279. 69, something like that. We had a little bit of slippage going through 280 because there's huge candles there. Bang to the downside. Everybody's joining this party. So just keeps going down. Stops a little bit there at 279, but we're like, nah, our out was always going to be somewhere up here, 281, 282, because we knew that it was going to be a little jiggly, but it doesn't turn out to be. Comes all the way down, breaks. Then we start bouncing around 278, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to take out half. That was my whole plan this whole time, was just to make one entry, 2 outs. So we get out of half for $2. Why? Because again, our stop was going to be 281, 281.50, something like that. So we'll go 1-to-1. And then the fun really starts. This was very tempting up here as we kept bouncing. That's 275. We kept bouncing off 275 here. And I was like, that's this line right here. That's 276.25. And I was thinking to myself, if we break above that, maybe I got to get out. Maybe I'm getting a little too greedy. But it just kept bouncing, and then eventually took 275. And once it took 275, it was game over for Tesla. Then it just went right to 274, bounces a little bit, gives me a little bit of pause, but then comes right back down. And I think the bottom is about 272.50, something like that. Anyways, once it comes back up, we triggered out around 273.75 because, again, we had to make sure that we took some profit. We only wanted to have 2 outs. So out of half there, out of half again for a $6 winner right there on Tesla. So it's $2, then it's $6. And as you can see, you can hold things forever. There's no doubt about that. But we scalp here, and I don't know where this is going to go the rest of the day. Let's just take a big win on this. We saw some momentum start to dry up a little bit to the downside after back to back, like, you have a couple ticks in a row there to the upside. The outlook's pretty good. It's Tesla shorting it off 280, resistance, support, right? Support broken, and then right here on the daily as well. So it was kind of a trifecta of a play there. I really like this trade with Tesla, and it's your trade of the day.
Yeah, big move for Tesla, big move for the overall market, back to the downside. Great opportunity. On the short side today, we saw Lucid just absolutely falling apart this morning. Tesla finally starting to catch up a little bit. Lucid with the offering, however. If you missed it this morning, it was on there. Make sure you grab that every single day. And then, as I said, come join us at 8:30. We're sending it right to your inbox now. So it's super easy. You just click the link, put your email address, and then you get it every single day. It's as simple as that. MJAM doing some squeeze kind of things right now. Just saw a whole bunch of volume come back to day highs here for this MGAM. There's a bunch of little tiny ones flying around this afternoon. One of those kind of days. We see the market falling apart, guys, but a whole bunch of little tiny names higher on the day significantly.
Yeah, I just got greedy with mobile gaming, whatever. I'm going to mess it up, so I'm not even going to bother. MJAM.
That's what I'm calling it.
It broke, and I got 420. I got 422 long actually, but I was going to say 420 broke out. I'm like, oh, it's breaking the high of the day. It should just crack through 450. Was talking about $5. This morning we were talking about $5 potentially on MGAM. Certainly has a shot for the break. We had longs in the morning off of 380, off of a 410 break, but it couldn't seem to get past that 440 area. Now we took the long at 420. This time I will take some out in front of 450, and if it gets through that, I think it's still got room to run. As I said on the daily, you have to zoom in a bit here to be able to see this $5 level could be that next line in the sand. If it gets through 450, want to find these movers. The market's trying to bounce, but hey, if you can find relative strength in a name like MGAM, which is up 60%, clearly it never broke support from early in the pre-market, but huge volume, big spike, the biggest we've seen since the open just a couple of minutes ago on MGAM, and I'm in this one to the long side. Only long I got for the afternoon here. Some shorts from earlier in the morning. Well, not earlier, that we were trading earlier in the morning, but some re-entries after a couple of bounces in the market.
MGAM, I like that one. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really looked at MGAM yet today, but just still looking at that Tesla trade. Looking to re-enter some of those as we get here into the afternoon. We still have our Lucid on board. Oh, it doesn't show it, but I'm still short Lucid, so I'll have to take a trade to show that one as well. Here it is. Here's the Lucid trade today. Good short, you know, on that bounce back. We started to really short, you know, the market at around 10 o'clock. As soon as we got stopped out of our Google trade, which is, you know, a negative trade for me today, but we were able to make some back, and I'll talk about that when we go over some big cap tech names in a little bit. But there's Lucid right there, some nice shorts right back in. Our best out is the bottom of the day, which is quite remarkable, to be honest with you. No idea it was going to stop there, but it does, and I didn't have any reason to get out at 14.90. It just came back in, so we're still holding a small piece, although it doesn't show it on the board. I'll take a trade and get that fixed. But for now, that's Lucid. That's what I have on the board right now, and just waiting for a few more plays to kick in.
Look at PDD. Let's talk a little bit about some Chinese names, because they've been really the only bright spot in an otherwise pretty ugly day here. PDD up 2%. I don't know why I'm missing data over there, but anyways, got back above the open just going back half an hour or so ago. We took back that 66, 65. Earnings were earlier in the week. If you missed it, decent report for PDD. They were also talking about this North American expansion, a definite relative strength case versus the rest of them today.
Yeah, look, you have to search hard for anything that's to the upside today. Pinduoduo 2%. That'll work, that'll do, but this isn't to say that Pinduoduo was immune to the market move that we had to the downside, because at the open, it didn't matter, man. Like, everything flushed. The shorts were fantastic if you got them. I was looking at NVIDIA, was one of the ones we had in there, and Alibaba was fantastic. We could have just shorted Pinduoduo as well off that 69 afternoon resistance yesterday, but some things have found a bottom and are holding to it, or testing lower, and others have made a big recovery. And Pinduoduo up that 2%. What I like now is yesterday's close at 66 was resistance. Looks like it could be our afternoon support level. It's strong on the daily. I don't love the fact that it's going sideways here. Now, it kind of makes me, like, we've had a bit of a bounce in the last few minutes here, and we're kind of going sideways on PDD, which lends me to think that we could pull back in. But 66, I'll like it this afternoon for a bit of a long. I did, obviously, we're talking about Chinese strength, but this morning it was a bit of a different story, man. Alibaba's down 3%, and the mistake, as usual, is getting out too early, always trying to have targets. And when this gave up at the open, it broke down at 97, and thankfully, I mean, there was just an opportunity to get right back into the consolidation price, because it gave you this golden spike from 95 all the way up into 97. Was able to get in, scalp some out down to the low at 95. I threw a trail on it when it made the 94 bottom. Probably gave up an extra $1 on that trade. I'll tell you, I did not think it was going to be as weak as it was today. That was certainly a surprise. I mean, if you'd told me that there'd be short, I mean, yeah, 275 I didn't think was coming in Tesla, but when that 280 break happened, it's like, it went straight down $5. So a lot of prices that you might not have thought we'd get to for a couple of days or weeks came in pretty quick there. Alibaba bouncing, but Pinduoduo much stronger.
Okay. All right. You all right over there?
You okay, Randy?
Whoever that is?
All right.
Okay, good. He spoke, so he's fine. Yeah, we have the new desk getting basically built.
Like, my heart literally,
Is this what's going to happen? Yeah, so the new desk basically being built right here beside us right now, so mind some of the noise, but it's good noise, because Brendan's getting a new desk, a new toy there. So that should be a lot of fun. Okay, the only stock that I took today was NEO on... If we're going to be talking about Chinese strength today, oh man, this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, so this Chinese, yeah, exactly. We're getting ready to lock and load it, and I just apologize if you guys hear that, but it's all good. This is a construction site the next little while there, so thanks, Randy, for that. But NEO early was good, late not so much. You know, a couple nice bids there. We talked about bidding 1970. We did that right off the open. NEO tends to do kind of parabolic moves off opens, and it did it again today. It gets settled down there at 1970. We grabbed the bid, and then before we could even get offers, I mean, we got offers out, but we put an offer down. at 1995. And then all the way up there, we got some out 20s, 2015s before it falling back down. And look, man, I tried. But I don't know what to do here. We'll just go like that because it's a good try, but not too much money flying around off that prop because we kept trying 1955, man, and 1950s. I feel like I'm talking about years here. Oh, first of all, there goes PayPal right now, back up to the upside. This is a position that I have on. Oh, my position should be showing up now. Good. Okay, so new position on PayPal. That just went up nicely up there into the 70s. We should have taken a piece out. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that in a minute. But back over to NEO. Anyways, I still think this is one of the stronger Chinese names. It's only down 1%. It's doing better than the market. Today might not be the day for the NEO longs, but I feel like that day's coming. So, you know, we're just going to keep hitting it, I feel like. I want to go long again back in here. Looks like we were just wrong by 20 cents. Like 1950s, the bottom there, but realistically it was not realistically, actually it was 1930 there. So, you know, just give it a little bit more room next time. I'm going to go long if it comes back in here around that 1950 mark, and then probably use, you know, something like 1945 or something as an out. But I really do like the opportunity with NEO. I still think it has a great opportunity to run and continue to go. So if there's any Chinese name that I'm looking at today, it's going to be NIO one more time.
Let's go to Lucid. Saw a great trade there from Sean out of the gate. Randy just filling me in on all of Lucid's problems right now because they do have a lot. Here was the note this morning, if you missed it, 8 billion into 27 billion market cap. So yeah, that's not really good math for LCID, guys.
Yeah, look,
they had that offering.
This was a mess, man. And one of the things we talked about is like, if you look at these EV makers, you got to think about how much runway they have for money. And Lucid's probably better off than like Lordstown or somebody like that when it comes to cash. But they ain't no Rivian. Rivian's got a boatload of cash available. Lucid
has that Saudi money though.
They do.
They may have like 10 times more than Rivian.
Well, no, I think Rivian's got a better current cash position. Like
maybe the Saudis are paying those golfers.
Yo, the Live Tour.
By the way, congratulations, Rory McIlroy. Did you hear about that?
What?
No, he won. So when you win, what's it called? FedEx Cup, which is the championships. Guess how much he got? It's just for the year. So it's basically like you're the year's best player.
15 million?
Yeah, 18.
18 million.
I think that's pretty good.
What's up, Rory?
Anyways, go. Sorry about that. I was thinking about it.
Give some of that money to Lucid because they clearly need it. That's what you got to do. We talk about this all the time where the easiest setup to find a lot of times is when a major support level gets broken or major resistance gets taken out. So on Lucid, you had this $16 level that it was holding above for the last couple of weeks here. And yeah, on the offering, boom, it smashed through 16. It even gave you the absolute gift of like at 8 o'clock when it smashes through, it comes right back to bounce to the upside to give 1580s. And then it just flushes like a toilet bowl. I did cover in front of 1501 and attempt along at 1503 that very quickly stopped out at 97, but I stopped trading it after that. You could have done the same thing with Nikola. Nikola was almost the exact same chart. Lucid we had to pay for shorts, but Lucid I think just usually a name that we're more comfortable trading. So it was almost a gift at the open that it gave you that price, and then just flush city, not even getting off the bid much with the market trying to recover here. I mean, it's bouncing about 1490 into about 15, I call it like 1525. So there is some support at the bottom, not a heck of a lot of it. I mean, the market holding lows, Lucid holding lows, nickel up, not much better. You know, these guys, look, it's like everybody else. Like the story is going to get told for them in the next couple of years, right? It's like everyone's having supply concerns, prices are ramping up, and it's going to be all about how they're able to ramp up production and be able to afford to do that in the long run. And not everybody's going to get there. A few of these names are going to fail. Like I said, like Lordstown does not have a lot of cash on hand, and it doesn't seem like there's any chance they're going to make it the next couple of years unless they're able to raise cash somehow. And in this market, it's hard to do because the market's under pressure.
You know what I was just thinking about here, actually. You know what Elon should have looked at some of those other car companies and like possibly start scooping those guys up. Like, I mean, he doesn't need to, and that's the problem. A lot of the complaints about Tesla is just sort of how their design and everything like that has kind of stayed the same. Now, obviously, he can just go ahead, hire engineers and design his own stuff and doesn't have to really worry about that. But that's something, I don't know, I never really thought about that until now. Like, they've had such a problem with the truck and everything like that, that maybe they could have done something like that, but whatever, I don't know, that's just random stuff. Okay, so Lucid, for me, we talked about that. I mean, Neil just talked about why we don't like these companies. I said earlier on in the day that, you know, into this environment, what has really changed, man? Jackson Hole came and gone. Jerome Powell basically said they're going to do whatever it takes. There's Randy. What's up, Randy? There he is. Yeah, he doesn't know what's up. Yeah, I got the table going on there, some water, some drills. I thought when we had that huge crash, like something maybe fell on Randy, which I'm glad that that's not the case at all, because, you know, workers' comp is pretty expensive. But okay, so as we're going on here, Lucid, again, you know, a company not making money, and I went on like a little bit of a rant earlier on in the day there, where money's more expensive now. They've talked about getting inflation back down to those levels of 2%. That's not happening like anytime soon. So I don't, you know, if they're going to keep on. There it is again.
Keeping on.
If they're going to keep on pushing the envelope with, you know, rate hikes and then, you know, QT, things like that, then I'm just not 100% certain of what we're going to do with these companies that can't make any money. So I stay short Lucid. We waited for an opportunity for it to pop a little bit. We did miss that early take there at 1560, which was the pre-market break. That would have been good. You guys remember what I was doing, and hopefully we talk about big cap tech soon. Yeah, tech leads, so we'll talk about that at the end. But I was too busy trying to hope that the market was going to hold green today, and wasn't focused on Lucid, which was sick to begin with and has been for a while. The daily chart on this name, I mean, this is a 20-minute chart. I mean, straight to the downside. I think I have, there it is. The daily chart on this, it's not so bad, but you're barcoding here for a bit. That high of 22 was right there. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad when you look at it from there, but you're right back down now to these bottoms that a lot of other names really aren't near their bottoms quite yet. But Lucid is struggling to keep their head above water here. That 1380 is going to be interesting when that comes into play. I mean, it could be tomorrow, Brendo.
I was just actually looking up. The very first FedEx Cup, guys, was 10 million. So that was 2007. So 18 million. Yeah, it's not bad. Tiger Woods actually won the very first one. Fun fact. Rory, I think this is his third total. Do you know that, Sean?
Pardon me?
It's Rory's third, I believe, right?
Neil and I just said that to each other.
Sound like
that doesn't sound right to me. Because, like, I believe. I mean, he looked it up.
In that amount of time, you'd think it would go
fine,
up
but
more
like,
than that.
if you started at 10 million, like we were just saying 10 years ago, it should be more than that.
Yeah,
I feel like purses would have gone way up.
Surprised.
Before we go on quickly, I just want to come back to this MGAM because it just put a death candle in. So this stock, it bounced off of $4 here. So I reloaded at $4.17. When it made this little wick here, it got back up to the high, covered some more in the 30s. It then exploded through $4.50. I'm like, yes, we're going to 5, and then rug pull. So I've thrown a stop. I'm not going to reload it again. That's a big wick top. So if it gets below 410, I'm just going to get out of this thing and then realize, maybe regroup, maybe it can bounce off VWAP, maybe it has to find some support deeper on. Or maybe it just has to consolidate before it can make another run. But that was a big rug pull event. I should have taken something out above 450. But once it went through, it was on big volume and felt like it was going to absolutely crush to the upside at that moment. But I did get a bunch out there and not holding on to much left. And the market, by the way, is making another turn down. I got to find a way to add to this Affirm. As we're going to talk some chips here. I wish I was still in one of them. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just want to say, I was looking it up.
You have it?
Yeah, so. Man, we just get distracted too easily here. But this is what it is. So if you look here, this is the Wikipedia page. It was 10 million every year until 2019. So yeah, like, I had no idea that was the case. And then here's the little chart there that you can see. So now for 2022, I guess they'll throw down Rory here. And if you
Tiger's kind of good.
Yeah, Tiger's won it twice, sorry. I guess Rory now holds the record. I don't see anybody else even winning it twice on here right now. So Rory McIlroy takes it over right now, and here he is right here. 16, that's 25 million just alone, right? I mean, plus these guys have crazy Nike deals and stuff, and then you add another 18 right there, and it's not bad. Maybe I got to get my kids into golf there, Brendo.
Yes, that is a fantastic idea. NVIDIA leading the way here as far as chip makers are concerned to the downside. There really wasn't much in the way of news this morning as far as these are concerned, but other than the relative weakness we've seen over the past few days, Moving back to the downside on the daily chart, they all kind of look like this, coming back into what we thought might be some significant levels. However, we've sliced through a few of those today.
Sliced through, that's a good one.
I like that.
Sliced through, yeah. There's got to be something like. There's got to be something more harsh because I wanted to short at 162 on NVIDIA. Beggars can't be choosers. The stock never even sniffed 162 unless it was, like 6 a.m. You could have had that price. That was just that morning resistance level. So if you don't get that trade, which is the high, and I don't get the rollover at the open at 160, which is the other level we like, all that was left was failing at the low from yesterday, which is all the way down at 157.5. Played that into 155 as usual. The old story goes, got out too early. Then I started shorting the 155 for a couple of scalp trades, stopped myself out, and then this is exactly what happens. It's like right when I stop out and stop getting into this, that's when it flushes to the downside again. I shorted the pop there at 153.5 as well, and then got out of this, and it continues to trend down. So, I probably should just go back to working off the 153.5 to 154 area, but this is the one that's going to kill me, right? That's the most frustrating part of this day is the trend was continued. I was shorting this level. I got out of it. I actually accidentally reversed long because I had taken some profit out there, and I got out of the long essentially flat. But that's a wick top, and I should have just jumped right back into the short the second I saw that wick top. Wick top meaning it broke support or broke resistance, was up there for a couple of seconds, and immediately came back below it. That's a pretty bearish look there on a bearish stock, and that should have been a re-entry. Obviously, NVIDIA has been good to you for the shorts all day, but I should still be in this one.
All right, I don't have any plays at all other than talking about one that I thought I should have had in the first place was when we wrote it down on our sticky note here, AMD short 91. I mean, it's now down to 86 bucks, and it touched 85. So, I mean, well, it touched 85.50. Right there. So yeah, this name, I mean, the chips are continuing. I mean, that's why I just go right over when I'm looking for trade ideas. It's like, sometimes it's like muscle memory when you're playing sports or something. It's like, all right, I know I want to short AMD. I know I want to short Google. All these, today was long Google, but Amazon, whatever. Like you think about plays that you had the day before. And I mean, AMD, if you're just looking at this from a daily chart, it's been pretty decimated since 105. I mean, this was August 8th is a while ago, but even if you just go back here, once we broke down through 100, it's like, breaks down through 100, 93, 92, whatever, bumps back up to 97, fills that whole gap. Like, you see this little thing here? Like, you fill that whole gap, like, there's a move up, and then in one day, it takes it all the way out, and then back to the downside, fills it again, breaks the 50 period, and right now you're bouncing off some of these levels. So for AMD, honestly, it'll probably be on the sticky note tomorrow for a short, and I'm looking to maybe go long. Like all this garbage down here, I feel like, we got blown out there in the NASDAQ. That's when we went down to, 3,800 or the ES, 3,800, 37 something, whatever that bottom was. What was the bottom? Anyway, I'll have to look that up again exactly before I keep talking about it. But right there, 81 bucks. Like that's, to me, I think you could start to buy right into this area for AMD. So for me, I'm going to wait for that to come through at some point on AMD, and hopefully that'll happen. And then just before we get going there, as I look at there, we're not really going to talk too much about Tesla anymore, but I just took another short. Nope, that's the 20-minute. We don't want that. Here it is right here. So I just put on another short right now at 275. What do I have? 274.60. So just another short right there, kind of against this 275.50, maybe even 276.50 right there. I'm just like, you know what? I thought about it. Like I went long PayPal trying to see if the market wanted to go. Didn't happen. Here comes Tesla back in. Let's just see what it does at 273. Like I hope it gets there and I have to make a decision. But down here 273, that's 273.30. That very bottom is 272.75. So hopefully we can test that one more time for Tesla. And I did the math already, right? This is 819 now. So 273 times, or is it 809? 273 times 3. Either way, yeah, 819, yeah. So 819, you're right around there now. So if you guys remember some of those levels, we got going, man. We got up to what, 960 or something, or whatever that was?
I thought 945.
Yeah, and then now you're all the way back down into 815 again. So just be careful with your Tesla shorts and or longs, because it is breaking down quite good right now. And you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but we can now watch ourselves on an absolutely monster. Can you see that?
Nah,
Not really.
you can't.
on a big, huge screen right here beside us, as that desk is looking mighty nice. I don't know if that's a QLED or whatever. That looks like my TV, actually. So
it's a great TV.
This is going to be really, really fun when we get this. There it is. That's the huge desk that we have right now, and there's me talking about it. Yeah, fun stuff, Brendo. You must be excited.
Can't wait. Yeah, looking really good and getting closer as well. Market, not good. Back to the downside here. There's a ton of weakness everywhere, including, we can just review maybe Boeing here quickly, and then we'll move on to some tech names. Boeing rolling over, down 2.5%. Remember this morning, right out of the gate, this was among the strongest initially at the open on that order headline. So they got a new order from one of the Chinese airlines. And then this came out. Ryanair saying that the MAX 10 will not now be certified by the end of this year. And they had prior said that it would be by Q3. In fact, that was the prior deadline. But here we are trying to get back to day lows for Boeing. Let's talk tech, because we saw all day the NASDAQ was kind of grinding and leading the way to the downside. There wasn't much of a bounce, although there are a few individual names in this group, however, that are more sideways than directional at this point.
All right. Well,
what's up with that?
Before we move too fast on Boeing, 172 on Boeing. The next time it gets to that price, if I'm not shorting 171, 172, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. The daily chart. I mean, give me a break. Like, look at that level. I wish I'd paid a little bit closer attention to it, because that's just almost too easy to even think about. Look, I think tech right now, you're getting a little bit of a bounce in the market. I don't think that's what you're talking. That's what you're talking about, because I just got back into Affirm, or some more shares of Affirm. But Apple down 2%. And the key thing here is, on the daily, you've already taken out the 200. You're getting awfully close to the 50-period moving average, which is about $3 away. Not saying we're getting there, but I think that's going to be a pretty big level for the market overall. Apple being, the biggest weight of any individual name. So that's a potential sort of gravity sort of takes you and pulls you into these key levels. And I think we're headed towards that this week. If not even sooner, who knows? So Apple's going to be a big one if it hits that level. I haven't traded Apple today, but I am eyeballing 160 on Apple, because that was yesterday's bottom and then resistance in the afternoon, or I guess mid-morning, right around lunchtime. 160, big level there. But I jumped over to Affirm in terms of playing weakness, and yeah. Oh, I actually missed the fill there. I didn't get the quarters, but that's yesterday's low. Anytime I miss out on a move to the downside, I just look to see if a firm is breaking a key level or has a good consolidation I can play off of. That's why I'm sitting here short. 23.50, that was a morning consolidation low, and now that previous low, 23.25. That's your new resistance level where I'm looking to add some more shares. But I mean, everything's getting hammered to that downside. Although Tesla is catching a bit of a bounce, it's not much of one. That 273. I mean, every time it looks like it wants to try to go higher, look at it fail at 276.50. That's another level I want to be shorting on any pop. There's so many of these levels. It's like if the market comes up, it's like short this at that price, short that at this price.
Every price, everyone gets
short them pops.
Everyone gets a taste. Okay, so Forge starting to go right now. Big time move to the upside. Forge Global Holdings off of $4. I mean, again, this is kind of the trade that you're looking for. If you're going to sit here and be a smaller cap or a squeeze kind of trader, like you're gonna try to wait for something to baseline like this, and I think so anyways. I mean, you guys are better at doing this than I am, but when you're down there near $4, a key level again. I'm only looking at today's chart, the 1 minute chart. Like, if you come back into this $4 level, especially off of a nice move like that, and then start to kind of barcode just like back and forth there, you're going to get a $4 bump up to this. I guess that's the 200 period. I just put that on there just for visuals. I don't believe that it's going to stop at any 200 period on a 1 minute chart. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But there it is, up to the upside. Here we go, 440, 445. Forge starting to go. Let's see how high can we go on this name. A lot of supply up here at $5. So just be careful with that. Obviously, we've taken out 5, but not for very long, up to 520. So I would say that where all of this is, you might want to get something out slightly under that. So I'm looking at like 470, something if it starts to go. Looking at a daily chart, this is a 20-minute chart. So that's what it's going to look like today. Pretty dead the days in the pre-market. Now, where is my daily chart for this name? Again, no idea. I don't know what was going on here with this name. I feel like it was not the same company, or they've split or something. All the way down here to $3. Maybe you guys could tell me the story here, but that bottom is 3 right now, and
Yikes.
nothing even. Yeah, like if I don't know what that is, but like if you're gonna go long on a name here, obviously do your due diligence. But even to go long now at 440 and to have your out at 3, still a big hit. I mean, you're gonna lose $1.50 on 440, so you know you're gonna lose that 50% or whatever, well, a little bit less than that. But look at the upside potential here. I just don't know enough about the name to tell you that this is a good buy. I'm just saying that for right now on our system right here, Forge continues to make that move back up. So I just wanted to do that because there's people talking about it on the chat, so shout out to you guys. All right, so this morning, this is the #1 name for me. I was looking at Google at that 108.50 level. It was 108.80, and this one I can actually show it to you on the 20-minute chart. It's just that breakdown in here, right here, where we held yesterday and the day, not the day before, but yesterday when we were crashing, we held that 108.80. So I just figured today, when we came in this morning and we were all the way up here and then just started to crash in a little bit for Google, that we would look to hold that. But as you're going to be able to see, you can see the price right now is not 108.80. So we just were defending all the way down, and this is the hit. So we're in, took some out when it started to bump up, then averaged in. I mean, if you guys were here on the morning show, you saw me do this. We got out at that 108.50 level there, so that was bad. We went long again quickly, got out once it broke 108, but then we started to make our money back a little bit. We didn't make it all back. We're still red on the name, but there's that move back up. So I was like, you know what? Not much volume here at that bottom when we made it. So we took the long back in, and then it just started to go. Like this long is 108.20. Like some of these outs, 109, so on and so forth. We just started, because it never really moved. If I take these all off, you're just gonna see chop in here. And then we just kept on reloading at all these bottoms. Like, so reload, 108.50, 108.30, out again, 109.18, so on and so forth. And then eventually, once it came back in, I'm like, nah, I'm not letting this happen again. So we get the last piece out there at 108.02 or whatever that was. Oh, sorry, 108.28. So good ability to make it back on Google, but still, I'm net short right now. I'm short everything. Oh, by the way, new trade alert before we go back to Brendan. I'm going to hit this. We shorted Baidu finally. So here we go, Baidu. I actually didn't realize that Baidu's spread is like 20 cents, but it is. There's Baidu. We're going to short the weakest name in the Chinese space today, unless there might be another weak one. But as far as the big caps there, Baidu looking like it wants to go to the downside again. And I'm just trying to play it off of 137. So again, all this up here, I don't think that's worth it. So we're going to go short here and probably take a piece out now. What was that, 20s? So we're short at 50s, and I'd like to take more. I'm thinking down here 135.80, but let's take a piece out if it comes back down.
Yeah, and look, I have Bed Bath & Beyond. I want to get to that in a second, but another name, I actually like the long on a dip buy on Netflix this morning, and of course, I mean, dip buys didn't really work out too well on just about anything here today, but there is a lesson to be learned. I like the 224 level, and on a weekday, this is the dip I wanted. That's a dip I took. I adhered to my stop. It was just beneath that 224, 223.5 actually. But all that happens when this fails, it's just jumping into the reverse, right? Like sometimes you accept, and it's not enough to get out, right? You want to find more shorts to get into when the market is going down, and that was an absolute fantastic level at 224. And you get yourself a good level, and then you have the momentum going away. You got to take advantage of it. We thought we had a pretty good level in Bed Bath & Beyond. Off of that 15, failed break, didn't work. Dip buy into 14, looked fantastic. It's like, okay, you lose going long off 15. I lose long going off 15. I go long multiple times off 14. It looked fantastic. Then that broke down. I tried a 13 half long. That didn't work. And now, if you can't hold 13 even, well, you can't beat them. Join them. 13 broke down and then turned into resistance. So I'm going to be shorting this level if we get back to the upside. However, look what's happening here at $12 on Bed Bath & Beyond. It's got a bit of a triple bottom forming. It bounces one more time off this, and maybe it's found itself its low, which is at 12 even. We talk about these squeeze stocks all the time. Sometimes they have to have a healthy pullback before the next salvo. And maybe that's to go sideways for a little bit or consolidate. We've seen that happen before. Usually that's when you get those bigger runs. It has to pull back, it has to consolidate, be quiet for a couple of days, and then start breaking out again. Maybe this is what needs to happen. $12 was our previous top, and we were just talking about that breaking yesterday. So if it holds above 12 even, maybe not dead in that short term for Bed Bath & Beyond, but I'm still shorting any pop on this for this afternoon. And MGAM. As usual, the stock, it's just a dirty one, right? Like I don't take it out when it breaks 450, load back into it, gets them at 440, stop out when it breaks 410, and it looks like it just wants to hold this $4 level. So that's, I kind of still like the long here. The volume's pretty solid. $4 is held. I know it had that one. I called it a capitulation candle. I was rightfully corrected. It's a wick top, right? It took out the high, then immediately rejected. That's a wick top. It's not a capitulation candle. But anyways, it looks like it's still holding above that 4 and wants to make another charge at that $4.50, if not $5. So I'm going to take a shot off this in front of that $4 level. Maybe even give it to VWAP just to give it some room to breathe. We got over an hour to go. Plenty of room for this to. Plenty of time for this to run, room for it to run as well. And of course, as I say that, it starts to get away from me here. I'll maybe tick up into the teens as well to try and grab that long. It's only some small caps that are running that I like the longs in. Everything else, I want to short pops.
Yeah, I was going to mention just quickly, guys, on Forge. Sean, you were talking about FRGE. The short float, the short percent of the actual float has actually decreased significantly over the past few months. They've had, I was just reading, they've had numerous dilutions through this stretch. So the overall float gets bigger, the amount shorted, then not so much. So this high was 30% short back in May. We're down to 3%, but you can see the amount of shares up here still basically at the highs as far as what is shorted.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and that's what we love getting it right. I mean, understanding exactly what's going on. And by the way, the volume is still holding up on this. I'd like to see it above VWAP a little bit better, like maybe breaking. If you look at when this double topped, right, like that lower high when it broke VWAP at 460 needs to get challenged before you get any kind of a significant breakout. I got the first leg in MGAM again. Seems like 418. I always get something close to that 420 level. It is what it is, man. But I jump back into that one. We'll see if that one can get running there. But Forge, I'd like to see it crack that 460. Otherwise, your good entries are at that 4 even. Coming back over to, well, I know you're in Tesla there, but I wanted to come back over to, it was Lucid that I wanted to talk about, and Pinduoduo I want to get to as well. But Lucid, still in that bottom. I hit enter too fast, and of course now it's NF, and there you go. Still in that bottom channel, holding a higher low, exactly at $15 again. So oddly enough, there's a 15 bid that's holding up Lucid. That sounds pretty interesting to me. If it can catch a buyer at that price, gives you an easy exit. And Pinduoduo starting to pull back. So I like this one at 66. It's halfway there. And we're halfway to 1,000 likes as well, apparently. So thank you guys for getting us to 500 without even asking. But I did say this yesterday, right? You guys did a great job. We got to like 1,200 likes, I think it was, right at the end.
Yes.
I'm not here because I'm going to Dallas, so I'm gone on Thursday and Friday, which means if I'm going to drop a few bars, it has to be tomorrow. But we got to hit that 1,000 likes every single day in the afternoon show.
1,200 likes every day.
1,200, 1,500 likes.
Yeah, let's just up it, man. Because if they want the goods, man,
I got something
like the first
for you guys.
couple are free.
I got something for you guys. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna troll you guys again, even though that was a lot of fun. It'll be something for real. But Pinduoduo, I think we can have a long. I just wanted to come back into VWAP here. I'm not completely out on the notion of it consolidating here and doing a break of 67 because of this level, but it feels like it wants to pull back in. The market's weak, and when the market's weak and you want a long, let it come to you.
All right. Yeah, that should be exciting. It should be exciting for you in Dallas. So have a great time, obviously, in only 2 more days. And then we will switch it up a little bit. Yeah, and the draft and the pool for you. It's going to be really nice chilling out. Our buddy has a 30 by 30 pool.
It's pretty fun
there. So that's going to be real nice for you.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, just quick time here. A nice little 50, 40 cent, whatever that was there. Short at 60, out at 20. About 40 cents there on Baidu, give or take a couple pennies in and out there. Maybe 37 cents or so. As we're starting to make a move down, we got out of a third there, of that trade, right? And so, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to stage this in 3 stages. So most of my trades, I mean, I don't feel like bad about how I get out of Google there with all of these fills or anything, like that when you look at all these, because it is pretty nuts when you look at them all, how many there are. But I'm trying to figure out how to maybe like stage my outs a little bit better. That's what we did on Tesla. I just talked about it, having one out there, and I said this on the midday show with Brad and Sharif, that I wanted to take it just out twice so that I didn't have to, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to get psyched out about like levels going back and forth, because during all of this, Tesla gave a lot of chances to get out, but I felt like because I knew I wanted to get out just one extra time, that if I got out here and then this happened, then I'd be like, I don't have anything left. So I wanted to wait, and it actually, wound up paying off. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Instead of just getting everything out as it comes back in, my next area is going to be right here, 135.80. I mean, maybe now I'm like thinking about getting it a little bit higher there, 136, taking 60 cents. But let's wait for 135.80, somewhere in here. And then, you know, if that hits and the market is, you know, heading to the downside, which it looks like it's trying to do right now, then hopefully we'll be able to sit around and make a decision at 135.50. And then the ultimate, you know, if it really does come back in, it's that 135 flat there is what we're looking at. So yeah, I like it. I like this plan of action here on Baidu. Again, a pretty sick name there. There was earnings, right? Nice move from 150. It was a good mover today. I don't think we're going to get anywhere back to 155 anytime soon. So the next stage is down here near 130. So for me on Baidu, there it is. There's the big move down. This is just a 20-minute chart. So yeah, I mean, I even think it could break 135 on a lot of weakness there. So let's see if that can happen. We have the short, I think, at a decent spot. I'd like to have it a little higher, obviously. But I'm going to put a bid 135.85, something like that. Hopefully we can hold me to it and make a little bit of money if that comes through 136.
I'm not sure how you guys are talking about, like, someone's like, I'm going to have drinks with J.R. Ewing in the chat when I go to Dallas. I'm like, and you don't know, I even said it. I watched Dallas, my brother and I, with my parents every single Friday night, because why wouldn't you have like your 8-year-old kid watching a show like Dallas? Essentially a soap opera. It's a great show. I loved it, man. Who Shot JR? That was a great show.
Did you ever figure that out, or?
Well, you got to watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. That's
all right.
Honestly, it is a way better show than I think people give it credit for. Like, it was like the Billions of its time, but it's more of a soap opera.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you like the money and power, J.R. Ewing, I mean, there's power brokers and then there's JR. Old JR, I mean, he's not messing around. He's just a winner, straight up. He's one of my favorite characters in TV history. You know, you get shots because there's haters in the world, right? So I did just get out of some Affirm, so we're going to try and ring the register because we talk about this every afternoon. You've got to sometimes play inside of the range. You don't always get these breakouts. You don't always get huge continuation. We're not dropping. I mean, Affirm is not going 25 to 23. It's not going to make a $2 move this afternoon. Like, it's probably going to stay inside here, scalp out this 20 cents. If it goes to the low and gives 40, fantastic. Rinse and repeat if we get the opportunity to do so, because you got to be able to trade what's in front of you. I am watching Bed Bath & Beyond for that bounce. Pinduoduo hasn't really done too much of anything. And this MGAM, okay, so step one, did get into some shares here at 15s. It then stalled out at 25s. I'm like, okay, I'll get in the offer. Now already pulling back in, but I'd like to see it hold a higher low. That'd be fantastic. We'll get some out. We'll try to hold for 450. We'll buy some more in front of 4 even. MGAM looks like it has a chance to go. I don't know if that wick is just real. That's not real on Tesla.
No, I was watching it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, it's just, like Tesla didn't just go to 276.
No.
And I was about to say, because I want to short this thing if it gets to 276.
I have shorts all the way up.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. So that wick he's talking about right there. Sometimes we do track some deep prints, obviously, on our charts. So I don't know if that was a deep print or not, but I've been staring at Tesla this whole time because I was thinking I'm in the money. I was just in the money $1 and I didn't take it because I saw my net bouncing around a little bit, and then I went over to the chart again and just looked like this line. I guess it's not $1. I guess it's 70 cents there because that's 273.90. It just bounced straight off that area. So that's where I got out the first time, and then the first time I had the short, and then right now it just bounced off that level flat again. So I kind of feel like anybody that took the short up here, and this is the other thing to consider, right? It's like, trading can be difficult. It's very difficult, to be quite honest with you. I think a lot of you know that. But it's like the people that were short up here that just got a better price than you probably are covering, in this area. I mean, isn't that where you'd cover? Like, at least some of it if it came down here. So, that's part of what you have to think about when you're trading is not just like that you want to make $1 or, my risk to reward is $1 on this trade or whatever it is. It matters, and I think it matters for building a trade plan and trade ideas and everything like that. But at the same time, like this is also right here, this line right here, 276.50 is a fantastic area to short as well. Like if I was sitting here looking to trade this and was here at this time and saying, you know what, I'd like to go short again, that just happened, man. That was at 215. So it's like we could have had this price. Some people probably had it. The same way, like if you're playing inside here, these are shorts. Like it hits it, goes down, hits it again, boom. Like I was part of this trade. Then it comes up, hits it, cracks, hits it again, and then now the big crack. So look what's happening right now. It's bouncing again off of this exact same level. So let's hope there's two sides of every story. So hopefully And that's what, my kids try to tell me, like, no, this is what happened, but no, Dad, this is what happened. So, you're hitting it again at 274 now. So just like I was saying there about that story, it's like, maybe if it breaks below this, then its floodgates open and anybody defending the long is going to get burned, right? Because this is also a decent long area as well. Long here, boom, that's where I got out. There it is. Here's the long again right here, back to the upside. So maybe people that are trying to go long, this cracks down below, and then we do get that 270, 250 area or something like that when it comes back in. So let's watch out for 273. Hopefully that can come in, and we'll trade it accordingly.
So, oh my goodness, what's that order? Sorry, I'm going to jump out of this nerve trade right now because there's I was taking a 13 breakout on NERV. And then I just saw a stacked order beneath that $13 level. Look at this. I mean, look, if it wants to break this order here, fair enough. I'd rather just get out, take the 10-cent hit, and whoever's doing these fun and games with like 23,000 on every single gateway for the exact same amount, they're trying to hold it down. So I'd rather just get out. If it pushes it down, maybe I can catch a 1250 and buy the dip or something like that. Or if it just reclaims that high and gets to the order, I can jump back into the same trade. But there's no need to be in it when someone's clearly messing around. If that's a real order, then maybe it does take it back down in here. But NERV up 10%, bit of a breakout, and it was on one, and I took the breakout and then was like, yeah, we'll hold it, give it back down to like 75s or something. But I don't need to mess around with that kind of an order on... What is going on? Anyways, there's something going on with Fahad here.
Fahad's car stalled. I mean, what I say, his battery died.
His battery died.
Not something's going on. He's like stuck on Yonge Street. So if you see a guy wearing a Batman mask on Yonge Street right now,
just help him out.
Yeah, just help him out. I just told.
What's he doing?
This is a little tip.
But what's he doing out there?
I don't know. Who knows what he's doing ever? That's not. I don't know. But maybe he's picking up a part or something.
Okay.
Okay. So what I was going to say, here's a little tip because I just put it in the chat. If you ever, and it's because it happened to me once. If you ever die or anything, if your car ever dies, your battery ever dies. If you ever die, then maybe the car is not that important. But
bigger problem.
You can, especially in Toronto and in most major cities, you could just flag down a cab because most cabs, and this is just a tip because I learned this and it was like, wow, that saved my life because you flag down a cab, most of them, or a taxi, most of them will have cables, and then just for cash, $10, whatever. They just hook it up, boom, bang, you're gone. It's literally a 5-minute job for them. So you might have to negotiate a little bit, but I think a 20 gets it done. But I just told Fahad to offer 10. So there you go. And that's the thing about my kid. Even my kids, this is what they do.
You ever heard of inflation? I'm pretty sure
you have to start at somewhere. I mean, maybe you settle in the middle at 15. Yeah. But that's like what I teach that to my kids. Like not to offer too low, but to negotiate. I always and it backfires because then they negotiate with you and then you're screwed. But the point of what I was getting at is
life lessons though.
Even when when we go into an appliance store, let's just say, I'm just saying this example because Sharif used it, and if I was buying a fridge or something, my kids would be like, Dad, ask them what the cash price is, at a Future Shop or something like that, or at a Best Buy. They'd be a Future Shop, they don't even exist anymore. At a Best Buy, my kid would be like, oh, Dad, well, let's get that new Mario Kart game. Well, it's $79.99, that's a lot, but you got to add tax. But he's like, well, what about if you offer cash, but you can't necessarily do. You remember Future Shop there, Randy? That was fun. Shout out to all the Canadians out there, but
so I don't have this one, but so I don't even know what to hit for a new position alert because I don't have that. See, you have it. I've never had the thing. So I finally got into Pinduoduo. Remember I said I wanted a long on a dip in PDD? It's like, yeah, let's not take it at 66.5. Let it come down. Well, it's coming all down to VWAP here. So 66 just came in. I got 66.15. If it can hold VWAP, great. I think there's plenty of room to the upside. It's actually still green on the day, but barely. It's starting to run out of room to that downside. MGAM is kind of barcoding off that 4, but it's holding 4 at least. And Bed Bath & Beyond has now broken 12. And it did not look, this one, it's fallen like a rock. This one's up in smoke, man. It broke that 12 level. It is now SSR, by the way. So, hitting the bid, removing liquidity requires an uptick. So if I'm going to add to this short, it's probably going to be on the way back up toward this 12. I don't think I'm getting 12.50s or 12.80s or $13. We're not going to see that again here on Bed Bath & Beyond. It just gave up the last key level that it had going here. But if it gets back up to that 12, I'm going to look for an entry on this pop to add back into this short position. But PDD, we've finally been able to add to a long here or find a long. And yeah, the NERV, one of the reasons why I was sort of saying that is, look, price action's great, but if you're only ever looking at a chart for that breakout, you'll miss when it's just an obvious offer sitting there. Like, it's not going to go through that, and if it does, if you have the ability to get back into the trade, jump out and jump back in, not everybody does. We can, because we're not under PDT or anything like that at a prop floor, but I'm kind of looking at this. If it drives it down, we can get back in at a better price. No need to just be holding on to this when someone's messing around at 13. Brendo?
I just saw an alert on this one. BBBY finally gets through 12 bucks. It was sitting there throughout the entire midday. There's a huge order there as well that got printed, all of it, all at once. Maybe 11 next stop now for Bed Bath & Beyond.
We're going to go WTF because we just got out apart. Like I said, we're going to try to have 2 outs here on Tesla. So there it is, the first one right now at 273.50 or so. Actually, that was the bouncing spot. I just put a bid out 66. So we get there 273.66, putting that a 93-cent winner. So that's not bad. We'll hit that siren again and we'll get that on Neil's screen hopefully soon as well. But there it is. It's a nice move to the downside right there. We'll take out some. And again, you know what? If we test that bottom, we'll still have a piece on. So far, so good. Ideally, I'd like to see it rip up now and get us more short. But I'll still take this downside move here. I believe in the short today as long as we stay under this 50 period, which we're doing right now. It's kind of, it looks lame because it's not doing anything. The big move was in the morning. We talk about that all the time on the show. And welcome. Thanks for joining us. Me and Neil have to be out of our positions every single day at 4 o'clock. So this is a prop trading floor. So all the trades that we have on now, although some of them we wish we could hold, some of them we don't. Right there, so just watch out. It's sort of barcoding right now. You're going to have to break these levels on the NASDAQ. And then even then, this was not long lasted. This was like 20 minutes underneath. So, whether or not we take that out again, I'm not sure. But we're going to wait for this bottom to break. And if it does, then, man, it sucks because I was waiting to get some more short in Lucid, but that's doing the same thing. Like, I just saw it do this move 20 minutes ago, and this is fine for me, man. Like, I would take this trade right here, 15.10 against 15.15. Are you kidding me? I want to average into this position on Lucid, but it's not popping up and giving me that opportunity right now. So that's something that I'm looking at for Lucid, which would be right into here, a 15.10 or so area, giving myself 5 cents worth of risk, and then, a flush into the close, which I think has happened the last couple of days. Let's see if that does happen one more time here today. What the heck? Baidu, did something just happen with Chinese names there? We just got out at 136.20, and then it just blew up to the upside there. We got more short. Sometimes, don't ask for something that you don't actually want. I just said maybe the market will go up and we'll be able to get some more shares, but that was on Tesla, not on Baidu. But there it is, we were just cruising, and all of a sudden in the last 3 minutes, Baidu went up about 80 cents there. So that's a decent move. Remember what I said about the spread here? Now it's fine. It's only 4 cents. And then, so maybe it's okay. I was trying to get out around here. So 137.10, 137.20. We're getting pretty close to getting stopped out of this trade. I don't need to be part of this. Like I said, into the close. We have Lucid. We have Tesla. I just thought let's short something that's been weak today because, again, like I just said, Neil and I have to be out of these positions. So we need some action. We need this to happen. The market is giving us some actionable trades as it's starting to go back to the upside here.
Well, I'm looking here. I'm like, oh, well, Pinduoduo went 15. Now it's starting to go. Look, if Baidu's going to make that move, and then why wouldn't PDD be bouncing off 66? But I think it's just a little bit of a delayed reaction. So I got my first out here, locked and loaded, ready to go. We'll do that one for PDD. If you were in Pinduoduo when Trader Prab was talking about it, that the move up from 65, that was the real jam. I'm not even thinking the market's strong enough to give us any kind of a repeat to get even back to those highs. But I'll take some more out at 66.75 if we can catch that. Hold on to a piece just to see if we can even challenge those tops. I just got a piece out of MGAM as well, and now I'm going to just rinse and repeat off of $4. Try to get as many fills closer to 4 as opposed to taking 15s and 20s again, because it keeps on putting lower highs in. And I don't want to ignore nerve. It's still pulling back. It did another failure at 13 even. So it broke that 13, did another bit of a wick top. So this feels like it is determined to pull back in here and consolidate before it can go. I'm looking for a little bit lower than this to get any kind of a long. And there it goes. Tesla's now coming back up. I do want to short this pop on Tesla, and it's getting awfully close to that 75.
Yep. All right, so Baidu, we got out of Baidu. Oh, you know what's come up just right now, actually, as I was looking at Baidu there, Lucid just came back up to a level that I think is acceptable, at least from a risk side here. We talked about this trade for Lucid. We got to get it first, and then when we do, we'll be short here, hopefully at 15.09, maybe even take a 15.08 if that comes in for that. Tesla did go all the way back up there. Oh, man, Lucid just went to 07. Oh, damn it. Oh, that sucks. Okay, we missed that as well. Oh, that sucks. And then also we got stopped out of Baidu, and that came right back down again right now, so yuck. And this is what happens to, remember what I was just saying? Like, you're barcoding in these areas. It's best not to diddle in said middle. Oh, okay, right now.
Should make a song about that.
Yeah, I just said there should be something about that, right? Right here, there's a buyer on Lucid. So let's just see. Remember earlier in the morning show, we saw a huge buyer poke its head up, and it was about, I'm going to say around, it was actually right when I was covering it right here. It was right here. So this huge buyer, no, it was this one right here. So the largest buy of the day, there was one happened there at about 10:35, another one happened at 10:48, and what it did there, oh no, I'm on the wrong thing. What it did here was bounce this stock right up from 90 all the way to 01. And then it faded back and just kept on going. I haven't seen, and you can see well, you can't see now, but hold on a second. Move this up. You can see right now that there has been no more buy spikes in here to that extent. So, you know, I'm not super worried about that buyer coming back, but we are aware that they're there. And here right now, that's only 90,000 shares. It's not a lot into 23 million, but it's enough to influence the level too. So, you know, it's going to have to get through that. It's obviously a live order. It's not pulling. It's not like what we call ghosting or anything like that. So right now, that 507 needs to get taken out for obvious reasons in order for this to become a winning trade.
Me first, because
yeah, let's go to Neil.
Yeah, I didn't think this would happen, but yeah, we'll hit the whiz because we like that one. I do this every now and then. I do every now and then. But look, this Bed Bath & Beyond, I was talking about it popping back up to 12. It just flushed to 1150, so it's continuing to go to the downside. I'm looking for any kind of a pop back up to get into more shares short, but I'm now out of this one. So Bed Bath & Beyond, that was quick, went from 10% to 12%, very fast to the downside. This is really giving it up here. I got to look for the next support level on this. Brendo?
A note on Royal Caribbean just coming up. They're going to use Starlink, guys, for their boats. So shout out to Elon Musk. Installation supposed to be done by the first quarter of 2023 for RCL. No move really on this, but oh, it is starting to go now, actually. Nice note for Royal, guys.
Yeah, and of course, like right as I just got into Tesla as well. So the spike to the upside here in a bit of the market. Yeah. So the one short I put on that I have left. Look at what Tesla's doing here. Big spike up, man. It's
yeah,
now
I'm into that now, level. So we're gonna watch out for this. I mean, Neil, the market is breaking out booming, to the upside right now, which is gonna stop us out of some of our shorts. Yep. I mean, this is what you have to deal with, unfortunately, when you're sitting here trying to pick these winners. And there goes Tesla. Oh, no, that was, sorry, Tesla's upside there. It was Lucid that we just, wow, okay. Look at this name going now. Lucid straight fire to the upside there. And again, we lost on it, so that's not going to be good. We'll go fail on that one, but still, all good. I mean, it's just one of those trades that I thought we could take a good opportunity. Noticing right there, 15.21. Do we want to compound this and go short again? Yes, I do. I just offer it, and it just literally takes out all of 18 there as soon as I offer it. So,
Yeah.
oh God. All right, there it goes, up a couple more pennies. That's fine. I'm just wondering if we're gonna play like this. Maybe that move. I'm not really seeing anything. We got stopped out of Tesla there as well. I'm not really seeing anything here on the market, but it's a nice move to the upside there. So let's see if we can fade some of these plays right here.
Yeah, that's a big move to the upside. I mean, my stop got missed by, pennies on Tesla, like pennies. And oddly enough, I got nothing out of Pinduoduo there. Like, that's lame. That's absolutely lame. Like, Pinduoduo just came up, got to like 66, 70, 77, it looks like. 74 actually, and then right in front of my order, which was sitting at 77, I was at 77. It doesn't seem to want to go. So it went from relatively strong to when the market booms up, we don't even get that much of a move. Where Tesla back at 76 now, I got a 75.40 short. That's now out of the money, almost a full dollar. NIO's catching a bit of a bid as well. I was just sort of looking at some of the other names here. When I saw Tesla go, it's like, okay, well, I just run through the list of names that you're thinking about. NIO breaking VWAP and going to the upside. I actually prefer this for a reversal into a long. Clearly, it's already gone off VWAP, but just a little more strength, relatively speaking, to Tesla, and almost about to go green here on the session. So I'm looking for NIO, anything around 1965. We're going to find some reverses to the long side. I did just finally get out some shares of PDD, but I also have to watch Affirm here. So Affirm as well, coming right back up to my entry point. There we go, right back up to that entry point, 23.25. It's still below VWAP. It's trying to challenge this breakout. I want to give it some breath here because it felt like we just had a big volume spike on the NASDAQ and took out this level here at 123.30. And I think that's all that happened. Like, you had a few names that broke resistance, and then you got a little bit of short covering potentially. So let's see if we can hold some of these. But I can't give it too much room because at some point, we're not just going to have free fall and making fresh lows all day long. Sometimes you do catch a bit of a bottom and there's sell side exhaustion, and you don't want to get trapped too badly in that. Tesla, I got about 40 cents before I stop out. I'll give this one to about 50 on Affirm.
Yeah, I literally made that top wick there on Tesla, so I'm going to go back in and see if we can hold a position here and try to get that short to come back one more time for us. So we're now short at 276 now, and again, it's just about playing those angles, man. I mean, we should have waited. Like Neil's patient there, waited for that trade to come through into a key level. So that's what you want to be doing now, not just trying to, like I was saying, play in the middle here, because if the market does want to start to go up, and I don't really see anything going on here, but if the market does want to head to the north side, if you're caught in the middle, then your stop is always going to be like an extreme stop. So it's like you might as well wait for a move to happen, and then if you get stopped out, you're losing, let's just say 50 cents instead of $1, something like that. I mean, it's going to be different for every stock. So that's that. Okay, right here, Lucid. So, all right, we're going to try to get some revenge on this name, and we'll probably put some bids down in here a little bit more, as we are now short at 18. We averaged out, and this is part of that talk. Again, I thought this top would hold. It didn't. We had to get out somewhere, so we did. And now we're going to wait to see if that VWAP holds at 20. So that's what we're waiting for now on Lucid. That's the trade that we have on board right now, and the Tesla short. So short EV names right now, not for really any reason other than that they're moving today. We already know the Lucid story, and we know the Tesla story breaking down through some key levels here off the split. So I still like all of these plays. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you there. I made a mistake. You can't call them right all the time. Like, I thought that Nerve, when that seller came at 13, it was going to head a little bit lower and you'd be able to buy the dip. I mean, it gets to 1260 and it's right back at that 13 level. So MGAM, it's not against me, but it's also not popping. And yet we're still at the high and showing a lot of strength here in Nerve. The volume's tapering off a little bit, but I do feel at some point I want to get back into this. And if I just play off the 1250 level as opposed to either waiting for the breakout or waiting for a full pull back into like 30s or something, like one of those big candles down that wipes a few people out and shakes a couple of longs out so we can make that secondary move. I think that's waiting too long. I'm going to try to jump right back in it inside of this range and give it to that 50 and then look for that pop to the upside. And as I say that, I was just complaining about MGAM. Well, you know, the second I say that, like MGAM does pop into 435. So there you go. It does hold 4 even. We jump back into this. I do want to hold on to a piece in case it takes out that high. But you can see every time it gets to 450 or 440, it rejects and pulls back into that 4 even area where you rinse and repeat until it stops working. At this point, it has been pretty solid. But at some point, I'll tell you, like it always gives it up. Like the more times you bounce off level, eventually that level is going to break. And I saw people are asking about news on Square. I didn't see anything in block in particular.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything in block particular. I just think there's a lot of names that sort of have this little bit of a bounce they've been putting in the last couple of minutes here. This is another one just sort of breaking back up. The market is making a bid here. So I don't think there's anything particular to some of these names. It's just that we're catching some bids. Showed NEO breaking through VWAP. That looks like the same thing here on Square. There goes my Tesla short. So
yeah,
that's me for Tesla right here. I'm not sure what the deal is with that one, but anyways.
Was that the, what was that one?
It's like I'm just like, you know, you're kicking the shit out of something. I guess that's what it's supposed to mean, but you're punching it.
Oh, that one, you hit that one.
Shouldn't it be kicking? That I don't know. Whatever.
I was watching Tesla there break higher, and then look what just happened. We got stopped out, and then it's coming right back in. We'll wait to see though. I don't know where that one's gonna go. Looks like we're not gonna get long NEO here. Oh man, like
that's gone.
Yeah, this is gone upside right now. Like this was a name that obviously, like I was saying, some of these levels break. We talked about this earlier, how strong NEO was. It's why it was on the sticky note. It's why we were going long, and unfortunately gave back, you know, some of the money that we made on this initial move because we kept on trying to go long, and we didn't have too much damage. I mean, some of these they're like 5, 10 cent, maybe 10 cent hits or so, all the way down, and then this last one, of course, is only 5 or 6 cents as we break the day's low at that time and get out of there. But yeah, look at that move back up to the upside there on NEO. Just continues to make moves here. And again, like, I'm just giving back money here because like I'm trying to put on some positions. And if you're not long right now, you're not making anything. So I feel like anyways.
Well, you say that, I just got more.
You got
no, I just added to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, Bed Bath & Beyond, yeah. There's going to be some names out there that are naturally going to work.
We got a super chat.
Maybe Shopify. I'm trying to go long, though. You went long on Bed Bath & Beyond?
No, I went short at 06. Well, I got some 06. I got some 07. You'll see my prices like 06 and, it says 06, but I got 06 and a half, really. But thank you, Kevin Miles, for the super chat. From Kevin kicking ass, and check out Forge. FRG, like it's finally making this break. But my whole take here was I wanted to see it breaking this level, like 460 to 465. I'm with you. It gets above that, I'll look for that long. Otherwise, it's like wait for the consolidation, maybe buy it inside the range. 25 to 50 looks pretty solid now that I look at it a little bit more. But yeah, it could get going. I do like that 65 break, although you did remind me that I in my head, I had a stop order for it breaking this level. To go long, but that was just in my head. I didn't actually put the order out there. So thank you very much, Kevin. Not only did you send the super chat, but you reminded me that I wanted the breakout trade in that stock. So I did grab another short, just as you were saying, don't short anything, or you need to have some of the longs. And the longs are good. Like PDD's going, that's still working in the money. MGM's okay. I want to get into Nerve as well, but that breakdown, I was unable to get the breakdown on Bed Bath & Beyond. I got out of the last of our short back at 13 in front of 1150. Now I'm just sort of shorting in front of that previous resistance or support level. I'll get out of this at like 12 and a quarter, but I have to give it some room. Tesla, man, that's now at 278, and I have to check back on, like I wanted to get into NEO.
Oh,
this is the frustrating thing for me. PDD is not moving, so it's in the money, but it ain't going, man. It's just not nearly strong enough here. I'm looking over at NVIDIA. If this will load up in a quick, come on, load. There you go. This is almost at VWAP as well.
These stocks are
but
nuts.
Man, NVIDIA had a monster level at 155 for resistance. There's some levels that I just still have to fade this one. You're also getting the NASDAQ back into 12.4. So if I see the NASDAQ turn at 12.4 and I like NVIDIA 155 on that short, that's coming at the same time. The NASDAQ turns, I got a good level I like on NVIDIA. I'm going to roll into the short in NVIDIA as long as the market doesn't blow through that level.
Yeah, this market is really taking off, man. And it sucks because I don't have any longs from that bottom. And then now I'm going against sort of what I've been saying, like taking positions once the move has kind of happened already. Like, I feel like you've needed to be long Meta down there. We gave up on Google early, which is fine. I mean, but not to be back in it, like maybe on that break right there, 108.60 or so. But again, you see, like you start to say, oh, now I want to go long. Well, now you're starting to fade back in a bit here. So, you got to try to be as specific as you can with your pricing. But yeah, we are starting to get back to the upside. There's the NASDAQ. It's a nice move. Where are we from the day? We almost took out, not the day's high, but this high right there, that when we tried to put it in on the midday show at 11:15, off of there. I mean, obviously, I don't think we're going to get back to positive today. I mean, we could. There's still 45 minutes left, but up there was where we need to go. I don't think that's going to happen. But look, this is why sometimes there is some value, obviously, in zooming out. And I mean, the market just kind of stopped right there. So if you were averaging into any shorts, you just kind of got saved maybe by that little price. So we'll wait to see there on the NASDAQ if that comes through. We've averaged into Lucid, waiting for that 1525 break right now. And it's coming faster than we thought. That's that bottom right there. That's 30. I don't know, man. I just don't want to hold it all the way up to 30. So if it comes out, we'll take a piece out on Lucid. Hard to believe that this name's going to get back up there, but I guess it will, as these moves are happening right in front of our face. So big time movement happening in the market right now. No, it's not that big. It's just, it feels like it. A lot of these longs are starting to come in, and I still want to find some shorts. So my eyes still.
I got one.
Yeah, I was looking at AMD. You've got Nerve.
I just got into NVIDIA.
Oh yeah, NVIDIA. Good. Yeah, I was looking at
155,
AMD.
but I did miss Nerve, and it happens, man. I'm telling you. Never put bids at even numbers because sometimes it's just stupid. I was on 1280, and this dipped down to 1282, and then broke 13. So I wanted the consolidation. I should have, you bid in front of those levels. You don't bid on those levels. Sometimes that's just a better. When you want to play inside the middle and you're trying to take a passive fill, it's a bad habit to get into, but it's an easy habit and a lazy one to make, that you just put your order at an even level. Now we've taken out 13 and continue to churn higher. The break looks like 13 and a quarter. I might try to get that on a bit of a dip, but Nerve is continuously strong here. Bed Bath & Beyond, like that reload on the short, that's one short that still pretty good. I've got first legs out here when it retook 12 even. I want to back off a little bit, but the market's strong. This is still holding beneath that previous low of the day that it held for the greater portion of the session. Brendo?
One that's always worth consideration on the short side, I think. Peloton down huge today, 7%. There was a note about Peloton hospitality, but there was no reaction whatsoever. Yet another service apparently coming shortly for Peloton, but starting to run its head into 975, 980 here for Peloton.
Peloton. Yeah, I saw that same note, and then I went over to it and I was like, it's already down 8%, but nice little move there for Peloton. We'll look at that in a minute. My AMD is starting to get a little juicy now, as you just got to go short, right? I mean, and there it is right now. Let's just put a bid out to capture something. Don't tell me, did I not get those 88s? Oh, I did. Okay, good. Whew, thank you. Okay, so we did get some 88s there, making me feel a little bit better. So that was a good little out there for us. We only got out at 20%. There's the short. I want to go more if it gets up here on that wick. So that's just another strategy there. Find those wick tops and then try to hit those. So we're going to wait for that. If it does come up there, we're going to be averaged into this price and then getting out somewhere around 87.50 or something if we're wrong. Just not really a key level, but just into there. That's 87.60. So, you're going to look at one of those levels to get out here on AMD, but we just took out 20% for 15 cents or a little bit more than that. Oh, yeah, 18 cents. So hopefully, it can fall back in and we'll make a decent trade here.
Yeah, exactly. I actually just missed getting out some on NVIDIA there, but it's still in the pocket. It's the same thing. It's got the wick top. The NASDAQ did just reject that 12.4 level, so that kind of emboldens some of the shorts here to be able to work. And the other side of that coin is, well, if PDD's not going to go here, it just put a wick top as well through 66.75, which is around our best out. So maybe this doesn't want to go. I'm going to put a trail here at 66.5 just to make sure this doesn't fall back on me. One of the problems here is, the market did make that bounce to the upside, and Pinduoduo made the nice bounce off 66, but it didn't really do anything after that. For this entire time the market was running, it went sideways. So that's going to lead me to the exits here if it does pull back any further. I don't want to take a loss on the trade, so we're going to make sure that we pay ourselves off. Maybe we can reload in front of VWAP. I did just take some out of NVIDIA. Sean's got AMD. I like NVIDIA. It can pop down to 153, and I think that's a reasonable target to have. I'm not getting any more out of Affirm until I see, I don't know, I want to see that thing get closer to 23 even. But Nerve, oh, the nerve of this stock. Now it doesn't want to do any kind of dip. It's going sideways. We always say when in doubt, zoom out. Let's not forget, this stock at about $1 from here. If you go to the double top from yesterday, there it is. It's got room to yesterday's high, 1440. This is the move I think you're playing for, but it's worth mentioning that at the middle of the day, this did reject 14 even pretty heavily as a lower high. So it's got another level to it as well. It gets to 14, it might pull back. So if you're in the long here, watch out for both 14 and 1450. Always get a look at that time frame because there's going to be trapped longs at these levels that will look for opportunities to get out on NERV. Super strong. I still want to buy the dip at the quarters if I can get it.
My family was out doing back to school shopping. I mean, clothes don't fit these kids anymore. I mean, you better do that with your daughter because the way they grow. And thank God for health. I mean, that's, we want them to grow as tall as trees. But yeah, it's expensive there on the clothing side as. Yeah, they went Sporting Life there. Went to and apparently got some good deals. So I'm excited to see some of their clothes. They like to show them off. Okay, downside move here. Obviously AMD. Neil just talked about his play on semis as well. So we're both into that. Lucid. Okay, saved us a little bit. I mean, that average in was good. I wish we were all up there. We're only at 1850 there, but it came back in. We got some 15s, some 16s. I don't think that we have a 14. What are those fills? No, those are. We don't even have. Oh, we have one 15. But yeah, we didn't even get a 15 the last time, so we're gonna have to wait for that to come in again. Just trying to lick the wounds a little bit here. We do obviously have the AMD short, which hopefully is going to be good, but just be careful. I don't want to get out of everything because I do want to hold for a downside move, but the futures are trying to hold upside right now, so I'm not sure that there is going to be a downside move anymore. So watch out for that as we look at Lucid. Might not go down anymore. I mean, it came right back into that level of 15 and stopped, so that's a little bit of a concern for me right there, that's not only was it resistance? I thought it was anyways. It appears now to be some kind of support. And I don't want to psych myself out by looking at too many levels either. So let's just stay true to that and see if we can get a fill down there at 15, and then hopefully it'll crack lower and we'll at least have half on, if not more than that, when that does come through. So that's what we're looking at. I don't have any other positions there. We always talk about, sector. What sector? What's up, R. Perez? Sean, the sector's still red, my guy.
Which sector?
The NASDAQ, maybe? Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the NASDAQ, I'm fully aware that this is not a dramatic move or anything like that. I'm just trying to get back into the space of some names that I want to go short on. So, yeah, I know I was saying that felt like a dramatic move to the upside. It's just because Tesla ripped against us, Lucid started ripping, Baidu went against me there, and we got out of all that. So it just felt maybe a little more dramatic than it was. But
the other thing is I showed the NASDAQ, but I didn't show you guys the ES. We went to 4,000 and came right back to that level as well. And so, you always get asked the question, why don't we trade the futures? A lot of times, you trade what you know and you trade what works for you. In the business of trading, don't forget about what's more fun to trade and forget about what you like. You kind of just have to do what works, and what works for you is different. And some people are futures traders. I'm not. I trade stocks, and I love the futures when it lines up with a level or a trade that I like. It just gives you an extra reason. That's why I was looking for things to short. Nvidia made some sense there, but the ES got to 4,000 as well and did a bit of a U-turn. Could you short that? Sure. Or if you have a good read on a stock, just take that trade. And then someone in the chat keeps saying, go long in Amazon. So I see your consolidation here. I understand, if the market wants to make a breakout, fair enough, it has room to go. But taking Amazon long here to work, those two levels we just showed, you need those to break, right? You need 4,000 to go. It's one of the big cat tech names. I mean, 12.4 is going to have to go on the NASDAQ. 4,000 is going to have to get taken out on the ES. It's unlikely, I think, that Amazon's going to do the heavy lifting by itself. So, I kind of liked NEO if it would have pulled back. I just got trailed out of Pinduoduo, so that long's gone for me. All I got is MGAM. Because Nerve is gone. I hate that stock. It's like it wants to go without me. Super strong Nerve, by the way. But I just got back into this, and at some point this will stop working, buying the dips on MGAM, because it does not want to go through 440. But until that stops working, we're going to keep going back and just buying the dips and then playing inside of this range, looking for that breakout, which is obviously happening on Nerve, as I see it here. There's another what's going to have to happen is I'm just going to have to take it like around like the 40s here. Let's jump in. I'm on 43, right? Just jump in on this level, give it a little bit more room, take a little bit less, and then try and play it to 14, because 14, then 1450, those are the two levels to the upside on Nerve. It does these consolidations, like these these wick tops, go sideways for a little bit, 15, 20 minutes. We still have time before the end of the day where we have to be flat. So it's time for this to do another one of these sideways moves, then a break to the high, but 14, then 1450. Those are the two targets.
Yeah, you're talking about MGAM. Yeah, there's the short Baidu looking good. Okay, so we'll look at that, Daryl, because I was short Baidu before, and then, oh yeah, ugh. See, this is what I mean. I mean, just wait sometimes. Good patience by you, my friend Daryl. Look at that, like great wait for that. Like you waited for that trade to come in, and yeah, you're getting paid off now. So I mean, that's pretty sweet, man. You wait for that top. It coincides with, I mean, the VWAP that I have anyways. I'm going to think it's accurate down there. And that's a great take. So wait for, yeah, look at that. Wait for that move. Even if you started building around here and then you have that as an out, look at that. Look how perfect that is. That goes to 137.97. So even if you're sitting there and you don't have, your stop is 138, even if it's 138.05 or something, like you're like that's not lucky. Well, it's fortunate. I mean, I guess it's lucky. But you picked a great spot there to get into this trade. So, yeah, bouncing off. I would still say, and look, I mean, I lost on that. I won and then averaged in and lost. But I would always try to look at some of these support and resistance areas, like you picked that one out. So if you're going to hold it into the close, yeah, good on you. I don't know where the market's going to go, but obviously I like this name. If the market does come back down into the downside, our dude is here. So
he's good.
How did you? What wound up happening there?
Taxi. I stopped
Taxi.
17 taxis.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
They had no jumpers.
Oh.
Then at the 18th one,
Yeah.
I said, yo, come jump my car. He said, how much? I said, I got 10 with me. He said, 25.
Yeah.
I said, brother, what is this?
So you pushed the car up Yonge Street?
No, I said, I have 10 for you.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't hold cash with that. Okay, just for you. Like, yeah.
See, boom. There it is. Yeah, hit the siren alert.
You also
$10 worked.
Yeah, but he also didn't
I like
ask. He said he asked 17 cabs in the 18th one. So you mean Fahad, as usual, Fahad is going to exaggerate things, but yeah, you got to negotiate. That's the more important thing.
Yeah.
You stopped
like
17 cabs.
That's like 4.
You stopped.
Okay,
four?
he downgraded
That
to
means
4.
two.
I
That
think
means,
4 is more likely
so maybe
to
he
be
stopped
right.
2. Maybe he stopped 2.
No, but think about that. That's
but
400% more. Like he went from 4 to 17.
I was thinking about my portfolio, the 400%.
Oh, he's thinking about his portfolio, how his portfolio has gone from $17 to 4. I think that's what he's thinking about right now as well, as we throw some shade at Fahad. But that's a fun story. I'm glad I thought about telling you that. I think that's a decent idea. And I'm glad it was just your battery, because
yeah, well,
it
you
could
never
have
want
been
to
worse.
be worse. Well, no, actually, years ago, I actually had to do the same thing. So it's a great piece of advice, because there's all kinds of life hacks out there that, you know, sometimes they're cheesy, but other ones will like save you in a pinch, man, and that's a big one right there. MGAM is making another push to this 450 level, so we buy the dip again. It goes up, take 30s out, take 35s out, and it's making another run at 450. Hopefully this is the time that it goes, and as this goes up, Nerve decides it wants to make that push to the downside. So if this breaks 13 even, then I'm going to be out of this one. I'm trying to actually buy some more in front of 13 to give it a chance to buy that dip and then bounce. But right now you are seeing Nerve come down. As MGAM works, Nerve decides it doesn't want to. And then not the one short, because I guess I have a couple here, but Bed Bath & Beyond, which we've had pretty much the entire day, well, afternoon for the short side. The reload at 12 even or 12.06 or so rolls over. I got a leg out at 80s. It's still going sideways. That's a higher low. Have to respect the fact that that is a big, high volume wick bottom. So if it holds a higher low, that can be a bullish move to the upside. And this is not going to, it's not going to necessarily care what's going on in the market. Like this could just have found itself a bottom on volume and decide to go sideways because, you know, it's 330. There's been enough selling in the stock. It's now SSR. It doesn't care what the market's going to do here in Bed Bath & Beyond, but I'm staying short until it gets past 12 even.
Yeah, wick to 1302. Yeah, I'm just reading some of the chat. Okay, DWAC's been going back and forth today, but it's not really doing anything. I see some stories on it, but it's not really tradable. They are, well, I mean, it has 800,000 shares to it today. Not to say it's not tradable. I mean, it could be pretty tradable, but this is pretty choppy here for DWAC. I mean, I don't think there's really a trade to come through. Apparently, what is it? Google's trying to filter the exact story there, I just read it and I forget what it was. But it's, not that I forget, it's just, oh yeah, that's what it was. The words content moderation is what I was trying to figure out. So, you know, they're trying to figure out how they can moderate, I guess, some of that content there so they can remain in compliance. And I don't know, I guess that DWAC is just gonna be a problem. I mean, if that's what's gonna be, then I don't know if that's ever gonna launch. I don't know. I guess it's already in the Apple Store, though?
It's in the Apple Store.
Yeah, so I'm surprised that Google's taking this stance. I mean, I thought they just would have been sort of united on their content policies and stuff. So not a plus for Google on that, but, you know, that's what they're doing. They're doing some of that. So DWAC today, I just thought that would have moved a little bit more. It's down 3% and not really doing much. So I just wanted to take a check on that as we go. Obviously, the other name that I'm in, yeah, it looks like Palantir faded off 8.
Oh, by the way, Nerve
today.
is now. This is gone.
Now this is really on your nerves?
No, if you got this one, it's finally going. Like this was, and by the way, this was a frustrating stock for me earlier on because I loved the long this morning and it just would not make this break. I'm now out of it. The play was into 5, some size up at 475. Now I'm going to be all done. The reload was off that $4. Like it was just channeling, and now you finally get that breakout. That's what you wait for. You pay yourself along the way, and this one finally takes out that upside. Not a heck of a lot to look at, but there was that $5 target. It did just stall at 484, which is right near that target area on the daily. Look, I mean, there's a few of these names that you had these ridiculous sort of opens on IPOs, and you throw out those prices because who cares about those on the way back up? The consolidation down here was at about $4.85 to $5, and that was back in middle of August. So that's the level I care about. I'm not, this is not going to 36. It's not going to, well, maybe it could go to 10 or 14, but it's not going to some of those levels that you saw before. So you got to zoom in sometimes on the daily chart. And then once I did that, this is where we came. That's your 485, close enough to that $5. It turns. That's my out. If it wants to consolidate and break from there, we'll break that tomorrow. We'll look once again at MGAM tomorrow. But yeah, pretty solid trade there. But nerve, oh, the nerve of that one. Like for one that does go, there's another that is threatening not to. So I did get that reload at 13 and wicked right down. Someone said at 13.02. That picked me up. But if it can't hold this channel, I'm going to give it a shot here, but it's done this every single time. Like you take the breakout, and it's like you had to wait it out. So I actually get inside of the range, and I'm looking for it to take out the top. I'll get some out on the way up to the top, hold through the high, and then look for that 1450 top that we were just talking about. So nerve trying to go. MGAM already did. NVIDIA and the market slowly, I don't want to say grinding lower, but it's like it's slipping, sliding away, right? If you know that song. Great song, by the way. Slip sliding away to the downside here as the market rolls over from those key levels, NASDAQ and the ES. So if you got shorts that are following the market, they're good. That's falling for me. And Affirm as well, starting to roll back over here. I'm on the bid in front of 2310, and then see if it can't get to that even. 20 minutes till the imbalances. I want to make sure we've covered some as we get to those lows, but you know, this market tried to catch a bid there and found its first level of resistance and rejected. It's just been that kind of a day. If you're in the longs, pay yourself, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hit the alarm now because, yeah, if you're in the longs, yeah, I agree on that one. Just quickly here, AMD, you were still in 40%. We just took at another 20% there as it hit its 50 period and came back down. So let's now see if we can get an 86.20, something like that, maybe 86.40 on the next piece. Coming back in here for AMD, and you could see we picked that top out. Tesla's probably back down now, but AMD, a nice little move in there. So that's going to be a good one for us. Also, Lucid, finally Lucid, broke through 15. We got a 12, we got an 11, and now we'll see about getting something a little bit lower here. But I mean, at the same time, it could rip back up. Like I said, we have half or a little bit, we just got 11. So now we're out of a little bit less than half left. So we'll wait to see. Hopefully it can come back down. We have about 45% left on this trade. So hopefully we can get that back in there off of, and again, just being patient, man, just like that Baidu trade. Oh, let's go back and look at that because Daryl, a good friend of the show, of course, had that. Ooh.
Mr. Flinch.
Yes, exactly. Great look there. As Baidu goes back down in there, another 50 cents or so off of, I don't know where you're short, but if you're short in here somewhere, it's a nice move down. It doesn't seem like it wants to continue, so I'd watch out for that if you are short on that name. But there it is. See, like this is the thing. Now you're starting to go back up again. So Brendan just came with this 181 million to sell. That's not a big thing for the market on close. But he's given us these numbers before, and then it's come out like 1.5 billion or something, which can affect the market. I'm not trying to go either way on this. I'm just trying to play off of the levels that I see right now. AMD's coming back down in. Hopefully Lucid can make the same move back as well. And we'll cash out on some of these shorts as we head into the close. Roblox at 39.
You know what? And we always try to hold ourselves accountable. And there is one egregious error in the last little while that I don't even understand why I'm not just coming in and doing this every single day. But since that first, forget about the first day on Ape, but the second day, it got to this 750 level. It's like, okay, we're shorting it off this level. We're shorting it when it broke 7. Good short. Gave you the same trade the day after. Then tries to get through the high, fail, high, fail, high, fail, hold 6, fail. And now it's going to be testing that $5.20 bottom that it couldn't break through on day one. Like that's just a clean downward trend where you got to pay for the shorts in Ape. I think we have to pay for the shorts. But every single day, it's just giving you the gold. And then now we're going to be at that bottom. If this breaks 5 even tomorrow, or well, probably not today, but if it breaks 5 even tomorrow, I'm going to be there because there's no way I should be ignoring that. We'll check to see how expensive it is. Obviously, I mean, you can look at AMC shares as well if it wants to load up. Doesn't look like it wants to. Let's go. Come on. I had some AMC long yesterday, and that's not nearly as clean of a trade. That's why I was sort of talking about the trend in Ape. Like AMC, yeah, you've had a little bit of opportunity here to do about the same thing, but I don't think it's nearly as clean, and it doesn't have an obvious level like that $5 that'll come into play. I just finally got that bid on Affirm, so I've been pretty patient with this short in Affirm. It just put in a bigger candle there, so just got some out in front of 23 and a quarter. Going to move this bid in as we are getting close to those imbalances coming out. I want to be net short, hopefully in the 350, so I'm going to cancel that bid. Try to hold on to this one. I'm going to hold on to NVIDIA. That's about 80 cents in the money. Oddly enough, I do like that Neo dip buy. Well, I definitely did like it. It's starting to come in, but it hasn't even ticked closer to VWAPs. What I'm going to do is give it a little bit more room, have it fall down a little bit closer, because when the market is trending down, if you want to buy a dip, try to get yourself a better price. There's no need for me to be up at like 19, like 70 or whatever. I can be down in the 1960 range, waiting a little bit more patiently for the dip buy on NIO. It's still relatively strong. I think it was the right call to get out of Pinduoduo, but I also should have got back in at 66. Just bounced off that 66 level again, so it looks like that's pretty good. We took it one shot. It went to 66.75. Couldn't do any better than that. Most of it we're getting out in the 50 range. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If it goes 66 to 66.5, it's not like there's many other longs that are working. So I'll get back on that bid.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want? Oh, Weber. We haven't talked about Weber in a bit. Yeah, Chewy is coming after hours, so we can talk about that when we go through our earnings report here in a minute. But okay, Weber right there on the New York. Wow, this is $8.50 right now.
Wasn't that at $10 this morning?
It was it this morning? Yeah, exactly. So it was $10.50 this morning. A nice move. Yeah, look at, pretty dramatic move down here for Weber, as that's obviously come in as well. Now, straight fire to the downside and looking to take down this low right here on 10 million shares too. So it's not like the volume's been light on this thing. It's a nice little volume day for them. I think anyways, 10 million is a very tradable amount. And it's pulled way back in there. It's not way back in, it's just down to here again, but off of some of those highs. This is Weber on the daily chart, so if we can zoom back out there, and it's $12. But again, this was a recent IPO.
Short interest, though.
Did it just IPO in August? It probably did. And you could just see where it's going. It's actually held out okay. Yes, I guess it did IPO in August.
So we always use like Flow Checker to see short interest. And look, we understand these are always estimates, so you get varying answers here. But TD Ameritrade says 50%, Finviz 21%, Morningstar and Yahoo 37%. If you split the distance, that is a heavily shorted name. There is going to be an opportunity on Weber. I don't know where it is. And by the way, this MGAM is now at $5 and breaking $5 here. This is insane. I got out at 74, and it's now taking out that $5. So this is an absolute run. If you still got it, congratulations to you. But we're just talking Weber. I think there's going to be a chance. If this can catch a bid on the next couple of sessions here, you're going to look for a potential like consolidation, like secondary squeeze type play in something like Weber. It looks pretty good, especially down here, man. $8.50 or $8 bounce off that a couple of times, and you could have like a little mini squeeze. That's a heavy short interest. I had no idea it was that heavily short Weber.
Yeah, and they're winning today, that's for sure, as that continues to go down to the downside right now. Okay, we did a good job. Lucid, we got some out at 10s and 11s there. Just checking back in on AMD, not really doing anything. It's only 337 right now, so my eyes are looking to see if there's anything that's sort of popping and moving around. Someone just said Mullen running, so I'll be your dude and go check this out. It may not be again.
Oh, no, it is.
Oh, yeah, shoot, I should have bet you there, but that's still not really running. Actually, it's a good move. I mean, if you're scalping these names, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you be doing that anyways? Lots of volume today, 70 million shares. You could see someone's pushing this right now. I don't know if they're pushing or not. There you go. They just got eaten up on it right there. So someone just took all those fills, and now they're going to probably punch out. And it's kind of stacked on the other side again. It's just so funny how this looks when that happens. But there it is right now. Mullen is making a move to the upside. And, yeah, good name. The volume obviously came in, in not much in the pre-market, came in here, made that move down to 60 cents. Let's look at a daily chart to see if why 60 cents is anything. Okay, so this is a 20 period, so not much going on there. Where's my daily for Mullen? There it is. Ooh, okay. Yeah, basically back to lows again, so no surprise here. I feel like the recipe is the same for these stocks, and you just got to find them before everybody else does. Like, Mullen's been a runner name here. It's right back down to its February lows of 65, 60 cents. I mean, that very bottom is 53 cents or so down there to the bottom. So again, pick these out. It's not like it's running. It's up 1.7%. But this, I could see why this could be a candidate to get back to the upside. I mean, all you got to go is from 60 to 80, which would just be right there. And there you go. There's your 30% return. So it's like you just got to go from there to there. You think that would be possible, let alone take out that dollar. And then maybe on news or whatever, you could get a little bit of a runner there for Mullen. We've seen that name get squeezed many times before. So down here, down at 60 cents, looks like that could be a decent buy spot. And thank you for calling it out in the chat because, nothing like seeing a trade before it happens, maybe.
Oh, and I'm just looking it up because I wasn't sure if they'd reported yet, but it says looks like September 5th, Mullen's going to report. So throw out that you have a potential catalyst coming as well next week.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
What's the 5th? Like, what is that like?
Wednesday? Well, what's today? 31st is tomorrow. 5th. Yeah. I think it is Tuesday or Wednesday.
Either way, mid next week, right? So there you go. You always want a catalyst as well. My MGAM is it's gone, man. I hesitated at $5 to take the break, and you hesitate, you miss.
We're really smart. It's Monday.
What? Is it Monday? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
This is why my wife just does everything. Okay, so.
Right?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Schedule, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing every single day. It's like, what am I doing today? She's like, it's soccer today. I'm like, okay, good. We're going.
Who's on first? But, okay, so there goes AMD right back up to the upside again. Good thing we got out of 60% of that. Like I was saying before, we really did respect some of those levels down there when it came to the 50 period. So far, so good on that one. And let's just see where we go. So that was a good trade here. Probably average back into it. I don't know. I mean, what was that, a buy or a sell? Hold on a second.
He said sell.
He said sell, yeah. So it's still a sell imbalance there on AMD. But, yeah, it's taken away some of that unrealized profit that we had. Right into that level again, probably worth a little bit of a short again. I was trying to wait for some of these tops to happen, so just to make sure I don't even have a stop on this name. But there it is, man. The NASDAQ's starting to go back up. So if you happen to have those longs on board, then you win there. But I don't know what would have sparked you to go long there, but it's a nice move back. The NASDAQ's flirting around with 1%. I want to short AMD again, but it's just got to get to this level. So see if it can come up to 87.40 where we're sitting there to get more short.
Yeah, well, NVIDIA did come to the level I wanted, so I did just reload there. I might hold off on Affirm. That's the other one as the market pops back to the upside. Still hasn't broken, either 4,000 on the ES hasn't broken, 12.4 on the NASDAQ hasn't broken either, but I'm kind of hesitant on Affirm. It just feels like the volume isn't really moving around enough, and it being at 342, NVIDIA is more likely to make a bigger move, I think, than Affirm. So I'll stick to NVIDIA. Bed Bath & Beyond might have to just cover it. It feels like it might just be done for the day. It's already made that big push down. Doesn't look like it wants to give more than 15 to 20 cents on this last move. Not bad, but I'd like more. Brendo, what do you got for us?
A headline on Snap. Guys, The Verge reporting Snap just announcing they're going to lay off 20% of employees, so not good. There was an initial spike downside, but it's actually right back up again for Snap.
Yeah, and I'm getting snapped in this one. I saw that note as well, and I went short like at 08s and then averaged in. So now our average price is about 9.5 there on the snap short, giving it back to like wherever that wick was there back into 2021 right now for snap. So, you know, when you're laying off 20% of your workforce, generally speaking, I would think that that could signal that, you know, you're not really performing at your highest levels, and they just reported, and Evan Spiegel came out and basically they guided down before they even reported. They've re-guided. I mean, there's lots of nastiness in Snap, but apparently not nasty enough as moves down. I still think we could take out the day's low. I mean, if the market has to go down. I mean, if the market doesn't continue its move to the downside and just continues to go up, Snap can follow the market for sure. But here it comes right back in. Let's try to correct some of our mistake and get out a little bit here on Snapchat. If it does come back in, I'm just going to put a little bit of a bid here, see if I can get something out at 10. There it is. We did. So we did relieve some pressure there. That was the price we had, 9.5. So we'll take something out at 10 just because I was not expecting this kind of a move to go back up. But maybe now we have it, and let's just wait to see. I'm looking for a 10 bid or so on Snapchat. Let's see if we can get that. Here it comes.
Yeah, and just a note on, I don't have MGM anymore, but it just got to 542, so close enough to 550. You talk about like even dollar levels like that. Like it broke from $4 was a consolidation. You get a 5 break, so 550, a psychological level as well. You might get a little bit of a pullback on this stock. It's a pretty sizable move now, 100%. But man, this volume is impressive. Like that's the thing. If the volume was slowing down a bit, I think I'd already be looking for the short off 550. It just feels like it has maybe one more push up before it makes that kind of a capitulation because volume super strong here. I am going to look for something on like, you know, a failed break at the high 550, a push to 6 even, one of those two. I reloaded on NVIDIA, but I haven't got the bid yet. The market, it's important to look at what's going on. Like we're not getting back even close to that 4,000 level. I don't want to move away from MGAM here because it looks like it's about to turn.
Ooh, baby, finally slap a fail on that one. Yeah, I mean, good move there for Snap. Let's take some more out at 02. Ooh. Yeah. Back down to $10 right now for Snapchat. Yes, broke. So let's see now where we go on Snapchat. Yeah, buddy, get that news to the mainstream. Let's go here on Snapchat as that breaks back down below $10. There it is. Yes, sir. Cashing out some at 97. We still got some on. So yeah, this is exciting. We weren't sure this was going to happen, so I layered the bids, but now that it is happening, we can wait for a little bit of a lower move here on Snapchat. Our average price, I mean, we shorted 10.15 there. We just got in a bit early. Remember, our average price was 9.5, so it's only a 10-cent winner, but hey, considering that we didn't see this trade before, it's a good one coming through right now. So happy about this as there we go. Not going to get too happy as it just breaks back above 10. But like I said, we're out of more than half right now on this trade and looking to empty out our pockets again here on Snapchat. Some more shares. We just got some out at 01s there. Lots of liquidity. You can just kind of throw your order out and just does a little dance and you can get filled. See, like right there. You just got some full. There we go. So I don't have to explain the liquidity situation here on Snapchat. It's kind of giving you the bid if you want it. Let's see if we can hold out for a lower low there on Snapchat. Just an update here on Lucid as we go. How's the beard over there, Brad? I see Brad's thinking about something. He's like, He's got that going on there.
The beard?
Yeah. He's looking at something over there. So deep in thought. Yeah, or I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what goes through that kid's head, right? To be honest with you, but another great midday show, by the way, right?
Fantastic.
I mean, it was fantastic. I think there's
killing it.
A lot of fun, man.
I love that the duo. They're killing it. Quite frankly, like no
Is that
question
what they're
about
doing?
it. No, they're definitely killing it. There's no question about it. But I did get in another wick top there on MGAM, right? So that's what I was looking for. Another failure at that 550 level. It comes back. I only get quarters here, and I'll play some to 5 even, and then back into 470 as this looks like it wants to try to give it up. And I'm just going to cross the spread to get the first leg out. So this is starting to come back down. It gave you the long at 4. Now it does a double top failure at 550. I think you can get back down to like a 470 level here as that starts to go. By the way, in the market as well, making another turn to the downside. That's what just happened in NVIDIA. I'm assuming I'll look at pretty much everything just fell back down in, but yeah. NVIDIA back down to 150, 370. We reloaded that short. We're about 3 minutes away from the imbalances. So I am going to put a trailing stop and not reload this one. So forget about the high of the day or anything like that. Trailing stops are going to come in on all my positions. Well, obviously maybe not MGAM, but certainly Affirm, Bed Bath & Beyond as we head into imbalances in about 2 minutes. Tesla, which I got away from, that rejected 278. So Tesla catching a bit of a bid. And you know what's still pretty strong? it's too late to maybe jump into that long, miss the opportunity. NEO, almost green. It did actually bounce in front of VWAP there and trying to get back to the high. But with the market as it is, NEO did a good effort, but it looks like it's going to come up just shy of getting toward that $20 level. Still relatively strong in the afternoon, which is worth noting for tomorrow at least.
Ooh, baby, this could have been my #1 stock on the day if I just had sort of been able to predict this kind of a move in Snapchat, but we got the news. I saw it on there. Thanks to Brendan for clarifying it. I saw the news come out. I was shorting it as we were throwing to Brendan, so down here 990 right now. Look at Snapchat giving it up. What we're doing right now is planting purple flowers. You can see green, 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 green. The purple is the short, so that's going to be a good little move for us to the downside. It's down at 90 right now, so I'm just going to hold this. Maybe we flush even further into the close, so a good trade right there. We are also looking to get out. I mean, I was waiting at 58. Why am I even doing that? Let's take a piece out right there. We'll just punch out at 63. Some outs there on AMD, again, to ring that register. So yeah, buddy, on that as that. Did I just get 58s as well? No, I thought I canceled that. I did. Okay, so let's do that. We still have AMD short 50 cents now in the money. We're starting to bank a little bit here, guys, in the afternoon. Yeah, look at the market coming back in. So far, so good on this move. So pretty happy with what's happening. Lucid does come back into 10 again. Let's not be too foolish and not put a bid out for that, as that's going to be a good short here into the afternoon. Like we talked about this name that we wanted it short. It gave us a little bit of a scare there as it went up to 1530 almost, but that's our last short there at 25, and now starting to pay in here on that. And then honestly, we only have a minute until the imbalances, so hopefully those can work in all of our favors, no matter which way you are. But there's Snapchat, just touched 85s, guys. So big time movement down. Let's put some more bids out here and start building that garden again.
Yeah, like you said, the imbalance is coming in about 40 seconds. So got to watch this MGAM, whatever. It just bounced off $5, so it's holding a bit of a bid. Yes, there's a wick off top. I'm not reloading this. It's too late in the day. That's a decent sign of strength. I thought we're headed back down to at least that dip level at 470. At this point, you never want to turn into a mess. I'm not going to reload. It could still take out that high of the day. Got my trails out on most of these as imbalances are about to come through. And I did want to mention, there was a question about Rocket. And I have some thoughts about Rocket when I pull up the daily chart there, but I'll get to that after the imbalances because we have less than 10 seconds here. Ooh. Just want to make sure we get them to you live. You know, it's something we try to do. We get the data, so if you guys want to be able to see, here we go. Nothing too big. It's to the sell side. Intel, 900,000, the biggest. BAC, 800,000. Verizon, 700. I'm looking for some big tech names. 3M's the sell side, 450.
Hey-o.
Definitely sell side. Snapchat is a 400,000 buy. That's not that big.
Because it went up.
But it is a buy imbalance, yeah.
Okay, so that's all good. Yeah, Snapchat does go up there a little bit. It's not really too painful. We didn't expect this kind of a move there. I have the imbalances up as well, but I'll get them out of there for now. We didn't expect that big of a move. You could see, like I said, planting that garden here and just not holding too many left. But hey, I'm still down here in the low 90s. See if we can get that bid. And then, hey, maybe we do retest that 85. But this is what happens on the market. See, there it is. Brendan just comes with it. It's a 1.3 with a B to sell. So not bad there on the sell side for the imbalances, but the market's kind of falling back in. Let me just make sure I don't get too overfilled here on Snapchat. I don't even have a bid actually at 93. Let's put one there now, and we'll get out at 93. What I mean by overfilled, like, you know, you have 100 shares, you don't want to put 500 on the bid, you know, something like that. So just make sure that, you know, you're watching your orders as we are getting close now. I guess I can cancel my stop order. We're not going to get stopped out of Snapchat, which my stop was going to be right here. So we almost did get stopped out. Well, I probably would have put a few pennies higher, but 10.20 anyways. That's where the trade took us on that news. And now you're seeing it just fade right back in again. So that's Snapchat. It's a decent amount of fun, but did not get any out at 85. So hopefully that'll come through. And then Lucid again. Like I said, I'd rather hold this. You know, I don't believe in this name today, but it has come back in a little bit. So we'll just start taking some pieces out.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to hold out for $5 to break on MGAM, but I have moved my stop to about break even. I'll cross up to the high of the day, but I moved my stop to break even on MGAM, and I'm going to hold NVIDIA here as long as NVIDIA wants to stay beneath this 154.5. I'll try to hold this into 153. It was a big sell imbalance. It came out at $1.3 billion to sell. It didn't look that big when I looked at the individual names, but certainly I'll give it a chance to try to test back to those lows. So just going to move my stop here as we reorganize and try to hold in. Like a lot of times, like you just get out. But hey, the trend has been to the downside. It is a sell and bounce. The market's coming back in. So I'm going to try to hold on to it. We have to be out of these positions. Obviously, we can't hold them overnight, even if we wanted to. But I do want to give it some room to continue to fall into the downside. I want to get to Nerve in a quick second as well. That's another one that was a little bit frustrating for me. I think there was a lot of opportunity on Nerve for the long to work the way it worked on MGAM. But it's just not enough patience. That's the name of the game. Like, a little bit too aggressive here at 13 even, only lost 10 cents, but should have just been looking for that consolidation buy. Then you're paid off. Again, a little bit too much aggression, buying in the top end of the range, and then not even waiting for support, buying it in front of a round number at 13, when all it's been doing is holding 1260. 1260 was your bottom. If you just only bought that, you got paid off a couple of times. You're not a huge runner, but a win is certainly a win. MGAM is now through $5, so that gave you on the long 4 to 5. Now it's pulling back in. I'm going to take this out if it gets down to that 470 range. But yeah, the short coming in here on MGAM.
Yeah, shorts starting to print everywhere a little bit here, which is nice. Snapchat came back. He tried to go to $10. We are at, it's not the lowest spot, but it's the lowest spot in the afternoon here since we took this short for AMD. So we'll go, yeah, buddy, and do the red market sign here as the market is starting to fade back in a little bit there. So AMD is printing us. Good trade there. We might as well just get it out. Well, it's whatever. We only have 20% left on this trade. As you can see, 4 outs, each 20%. Now we'll wait to see if it breaks. So that's AMD right now trying to break this level of 86.50. If it does, then I do believe we can get an 86.20 or so bid. So I'm going to put a bid there. And sometimes, sometimes if you put the bids, you never know. It'll come down and hit you. So let's see if that does happen. Let's put it at 86.31 right there. So we'll push enter on that, and we'll go down to 86.31, which is right there. Hopefully that can fill us. Like I said, wishful thinking on that. Hopefully can come in. All right, Lucid, look at this. I mean, here's the short. We've zoomed in here. This is what we're doing. It's not breaking. The lowest it ever went was 8 there. We started that short, and it's just starting to print out a little bit now. It doesn't really matter, but our average price is 18, I think. What was it? Well, now it's better. Now it's 21, but it was about 18 in there off that average, which was 26. So we got caught a little bit there, but then as it came back in, we really started to take some profit on this short. So Lucid right now, worth getting more out. I'll just put a bid at, there we go. You just put a bid at 12 and it takes the whole thing anyways. So we'll get out some there at 12 and then just really try to see if it does want to go back down near that 8 mark. Check out on the imbalances quickly again. Yeah, not much. Intel, ooh, I just saw Intel there. Now it's gone. Oh, it's 355. So they kind of get paired off there a little bit. There's a couple of key data points. And you're going to do your own research on this, but there's a couple key flip spots there for that on the imbalance locator, 355, 358, so on and so forth. So watch out there, but there it is. It looks pretty weak right now. UMC, there's really nothing else on there. CCL, we talked about that near $10, and that's below that now. And there's your Intel. Intel can't be up today. No, all these names are down. So that's another 2.25% there for Intel. Is Kohl's reporting?
No, I think they already did. I think we got
Yeah,
KSS.
that's right. I believe they did. KSS had all that back and forth activist movements, and were they getting bought out, were they not? I don't even know where that story is anymore.
So that $5 level on MGM, we have 4 minutes left to go, by the way. So I was looking for it to go just a little tick lower, but we have to be flat at the end of the session. It did take out 5 on the way back up. I tightened the stop again. It's going to get out. It's not going to give you the home run to the south side because, quite frankly, it's really strong. Like a lot of times you get a double top like that, you'll pull at least halfway back to VWAP. Forget about it. It broke 5. It then rejected that breakdown. So both my outs in front of 5 instead of beneath it. That's fair enough. Even NVIDIA showing some signs of strength. And look, I'm not saying it's going, it's not going up a lot, but the market is continuing to the downside. And NVIDIA is holding forward at about 154. So I'm not gonna wait for it to get all the way to the top here. We only have a few minutes left. I will just get on the bid, take it out where we can get it and acknowledge the fact that, hey, some higher lows and good support got made at 152 and a set of higher lows on NVIDIA going into the close as the market continued to go lower. So it's always worth noting these kind of things. I promised that I would have a look at Rocket because someone mentioned it was like $8 just barcoding off the bottom here on Rocket, down 4%. But what's more interesting to me when I look at this, it's been free falling, but this level at 8, there is not a heck of a lot till you get to the next dollar down. So if we break this shelf on Rocket tomorrow, it's got even more downside to 7 even, and just from looking at the chart. And a few earnings to get to. Ooh, a couple of big ones there, Brendo.
Yeah, let's get to them. Coming up mostly after the close tonight, but a few in the retail group to come still for tomorrow as well.
All right.
Chewy.
Yeah, Chewy's going to be another one. That's another Ryan Cohen one there for Chewy. So watch out for that. Could have some short interest there, CHWY. We've seen these names. It's a New York name. We've seen these names fly around, as many of you, I'm sure, have if you've traded Chewy before. This could be a violent one-off earnings, so just be careful with this. I mean, I think if you're going to play anything into the option game, you're probably going to want to trade Chewy. It's right at this nice level of $36. Look where we fell from. We fell from 50. It's primed to get killed on a miss, but imagine they beat right now. There's going to be a lot of short covering into Chewy. So for me, I would say the risk on this one is to the upside here, meaning that if you're caught short, this could blow to the upside. Let's just wait to see what the imbalance is on it for a short. CHWY, it's a heavily shorted name. There it is, yeah, 24%. So definitely some action here on Chewy's side of things on the short end. So watch out for that one, man. This name could blow up if there's something funky with their earnings report or something like that. So that's going to be an interesting one tomorrow. I think my eyes will be on Chewy, but I thought Gap was on there as well. That's
no, I think we got
no. There was something else. Anyways,
the only other one I like. Well, maybe there's a couple others, but definitely CrowdStrike because Palo Alto.
Oh yeah,
crushed
CrowdStrike
it.
was one.
So
okay.
I think CrowdStrike, you know, if they have a bad quarter, that doesn't make any sense. Palo Alto crushed it. I think they had one of the best quarters that you've seen. So cybersecurity is still expensive names, ridiculously, probably very, very much overpriced on a PE basis, but the growth has been there to support it. At least that's what the market has been saying. And a great upward channel that this stock has been making, resting off that 50 period. Less than a minute to go here. I'll let you handle it. I know you got some Snapchat left. We got Tony. It's Tuesday. He rang the opening bell. He's going to ring that closing bell here. It hasn't been an update in the market, but there have been tons of trading opportunities out there with about 30 seconds to go. I just want to come back over to a couple of bids being made here, by the way. Nerve making a bounce. NVIDIA, remember I just said it was relatively strong? Yeah, now it's breaking back out. So the market is trying to bounce here. And a couple of strong chip names. I'm watching NVIDIA bounce upside. I'm watching actually even Affirm, Tesla, all making a few tops as we head into the bell on this, I almost said Wednesday. On this Tuesday. It feels like a Wednesday, but on this Tuesday, no turnaround Tuesday unless it was going from positive to negative. But my man, get the camera on Tony so we can dance it off, put a smile on our faces in 3, 2, and 1.
Thanks, Tony, for that one. My man right there. Yeah, good one on that one, Neil. So let's just wait to see. Oh, apparently Goldman Sachs lifting all, I saw that note there, lifting all COVID protocols. So orders staff back to work. So anybody that works at Goldman Sachs, yeah, maybe you got to go back to work there. So I don't know. We'll find out more about that story. But yeah, you know, the day started off really good. It got pretty bad, and then the afternoon kind of just went sideways a little bit. Let's figure out and ask Brendan where this market wound up.
Definitely off the lows from midday. Here we go. 1.12 for the S&P, 1.1 for the Dow. 1.08, so much improved here for the NASDAQ. You remember it was leading early on. 5.2 for crude oil. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but pretty ugly there for crude. Bitcoin, Ethereum, choppity chop around as well.
Choppity chop.
Choppity chop it goes.
You know, but overall, there was at least a late bounce. I mean, it wasn't much, but it got close. We got off of the lows, right? Like it's, you know, when you get accustomed to sometimes like just all sell off and that's all it is. But no, it's sell and bounce. You actually bounced a little bit off that low. We'll come into tomorrow. Some earnings plays to be looking at, of course. Chewy, CrowdStrike. There was something else on that board. There was I think it was some kind of retail name. Anyways, we'll be looking at that tomorrow morning. I think those two are going to be fine. And then don't sleep on that MGAM. Like that was pretty strong. Actually holding those highs as we speak. MGAM up 100% and still trying to take out the top here after 4 o'clock. So I'll be looking at that one tomorrow. Big time runner here in the afternoon.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching. I mean, I don't know how many likes we got because if we didn't get 1.5, then I guess there's no wrap. We only got 1.2K. So maybe if you guys can hit the like button quickly there, we'll get that up there, and then maybe we'll feel like, or Neil will feel like doing it there soon. Okay, just quickly there, wanted to say congratulations to everybody that made some money today. I think it was a little bit of a tough day to trade that. There's going to be some nice earnings plays tomorrow, hopefully coming through. And yeah, let's just move on and watch out. I'm still pretty bearish on this market. Oil, though, down 5% today. That's another one. CPI coming on the September 13th, which I almost said next week, but it's close enough to next week at this point as well. Do we get a super chat or what?
No, we got True Trading Group. Thank you. He gifted 50 memberships again. So one more time, thank you very much, True Trading Group. Did fantastic for us. So you're gonna get those. You have to. I think you enable at the beginning. It's like enable gifts, and then you can get your free membership. Always fantastic to grow that community, guys. That's what we love about. It's a giving community. Man. That's what trading's all about. It's really hard to trade alone, man. And we're here every single day to make sure you don't have to.
Yeah, and they're a sponsor of our opening show as well. So thank you for that as we go. But I'm just hoping that it's not raining. I know we have activities tonight. I know you do as well. And I'm just hoping that. So my son's in karate, and he goes for a belt test today.
That's indoors, so it's...
that's indoors, so
belt?
I think it's orange, whatever the color's after orange. I think he's going for green or
you know
purple.
better than I would, man.
Yeah, you would think. But anyways, he's going for one of those belts today.
I hope
Apparently, the whole thing is I'm not that nervous about it because he wouldn't be testing if he wasn't in there.
You do the test when you're ready.
Yeah, so hopefully he's ready for that. I'm going to wish him a good luck as well. So that
go
should
get
be
it,
fun.
Baron. Go
yes,
get it.
Exactly. He'll get it. He'll get it. He'll get it.
Always.
And if he doesn't, I'm going to be a sad day. But I think he'll be fine. And then I'm just hoping that baseball goes because it was a pretty wet day here in Toronto.
Baseball,
so hey, man, no matter where you are today, a big thanks to Randy. You saw him on the show a couple times there. Got the coffees early for us. Almost broke his back or neck or whatever, lifting his desk up there. Sounded pretty brutal at the beginning, but that was fun times. Thanks to Liz, Maggie, Katrine, everybody that's around today. Glad that Fahad didn't have to push his car up Yonge Street, so that was pretty cool. So shout out to Fahad, shout out to everybody there.
I'm surprised he didn't pretend that he did.
Yeah, well, he came in all out of breath,
Yeah,
but I guess he parked and then ran back here. So shout out to that as well. Thanks to Lucas, Fahad, everybody that's working in the back, and the midday show of Sharif and Prad. So far, so good. So, all right, join us tomorrow on Hump Day.
Yes.
Because we thought it was Wednesday today, but tomorrow's Wednesday. So from everybody here at Trader TV Live, that's Neil, Brendan, I'm Sean, and we will see you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao.